And now we're live. So,
is it
how
live?
goes the day? Yeah, we're live now.
By the way, I have to tell people, the host and I talked for about 10-15 minutes, and I thought that was the interview. So when we're talking, I'm talking to him like I'm an interviewed person, not as a a charming, eloquent, and cordial man. But yeah, I'm ready. Ask me anything.
Okay. Well, let's see. How just basic question straight out the gate for people that don't know. What inspired you to start doing this nonsense to begin with?
Well, when I was in high school, I met a person in class who had a film camera, like a Super 8 or something. And he told me of all the things that he could do. Like he can make laser beams by taking a pin and carving it into the film, like frame by frame.
Okay.
And, I always wanted to make movies because I loved movies. And especially the ones that, as a kid, really stirred my imagination, like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, just imagining myself in that. By the way, when I saw it as an adult, I thought, like, wow, this is cheesy. How could I have loved it? But I guess when you're a kid, you want to love what you have. And then as an adult, you become jaded and you're like, some people are like that.
Yeah.
But
can't get set in their ways, don't really like to deviate from it.
This kid in high school kept taunting, like, yeah, you could use the camera. So I kept writing all these skits and everything. And then I received the camera for Christmas when I was 18. All that time, I was just dying. And I'm only 25 years old, or at least that's what my Facebook page says. But this is in the era of VHS. And so I made skits, but I also went to malls because at the time, very pretty girls hung out in malls. Malls were a very social place. I don't know if you were ever a mall rat.
Yeah, malls were fun.
I don't think that exists now, from what I've seen.
They do. Last time I went to one was I was visiting a friend down in Florida. She invited a bunch of friends to a convention, and naturally all of them bailed. So I was like, that's pretty fucked up. I bet I could afford to go down there. And yeah, went down, enjoyed the stuff. And on one of the off days, just before my flight, we stopped by a mall, and she's like, whoa, I've never been in one of these before. Like, bitch, you're 20. What the fuck are you doing?
No, I think I meant that I know malls exist, but they're not really the social gathering places that they once were.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'd interview girls under the promise that, I'm a sociology student and this is a a project for my class. And after I fill up 2 hours of material, you'll get a VHS cassette. And so the interview started out normal, or, nothing special, like, hey, who are you? Tell us about yourself. And then I'd ask ridiculous questions. And, some people did not resonate with this humor. But I think that that's what started the humor from my magazine. I won't really talk about my magazine because who knows how many of your people are metal people. But I applied the same humor to bands where, they're trying to look more evil than thou. And I'm asking them these ridiculous questions. Like the singer of Cannibal Corpse, I asked him, is Cookie Monster a good death metal vocalist? And he answered it seriously. So, well, he's sort of like using half his power. But then I made skits, and then I made public stunts. Like I was at college, and I saw there was a track and field, like a round track. And I told the coach, hey, I'm a theater major. Do you notice that I could be a CIA spy? Because everyone believes what I say I am. Well, it was nowhere near the finals. And I said, this is for my finals. And so all the athletes left the track. And me and 3 other people dressed in loincloths with life-size crosses. And we filmed the Crucifix Olympics. So we were doing all these kinds of things.
The Crucifix Olympics?
Like, yes.
What was that all about?
Well, on paper, it was supposed to be 4 people with loincloths and crosses racing. And I cheated. I tripped people with my cross. And I won, but the prize was crucifixion. So joke's on me. Just ridiculous stuff like that. And then to make a long penis short, I was at a horror convention. And at that point, I had like maybe the 7th anthology. Like once I had 2 hours of skits and interviews, I released it. But by releasing, I meant dubbing it from one VCR to another VCR. And I went to a horror convention because someone said, "Hey, there are metal people who go to that. They might be interested in your magazine." So I went there with piles of magazines, and person came up to me who knew me. I didn't know him, and he knew of me. I mean to say, we had mutual friends, and he said, "I want you to meet my friend Darian." And I thought it was a dude. I'm like, I don't want to meet a dude. Do you know me? But anyway, Darian was not a dude. She was Darian Kane, who was a scream queen. If you look her up, you might find her in Playmate of the Apes, movies like that.
Ah, cool.
And she offered to sell my anthologies on her table. I don't know if I'm boring or not. I'm just giving you history.
Oh, you're fine.
So,
you're fine. You're fine.
Okay. Well, we'll conclude in a moment. I was at her table, and I couldn't believe how quickly the VHS tapes were selling. And so the second convention, I brought hundreds. I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah.
And I was told politely, "Hey, Bill, I'll sell more if you leave the table." So I won't say much about the kind of movies she made, but she said that her fans are sort of beta males, although that wasn't really a term back then.
Yeah.
And she said that sometimes it takes them all day to summon the courage to come up to her at her booth. So I left the table, and yes, she sold more. And then she told me I should make a feature. I didn't know what that was. Technically, it's any movie over 60 minutes. She was in a couple of my skits. Like there was an invisibility potion, like there was a blind date, and the guy accidentally eats an X-ray vision powder. Sorry.
Nice.
Invisibility is something else.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of fun because there was a circus mirror. So we played off her, like once he saw her in her underwear, like a thong and bra.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, what the hell's going on? But she kept saying things that are funnier because he saw her in her panties.
Yeah.
I used 3 different words for the same thing: underwear, thong, panties. Now I'm going to use the 4th one: G-string. Well, anyway, word power.
Yeah. Variety is the spice of life.
I'm a thesaurus Rex. Well,
yeah, you are.
So the things that she said were funny because she said she has a low self-esteem or poor self-image, and she looked in front of the mirror. She's like, "Oh, look, I look fat," but because it was a circus mirror, she did look distorted.
Mm.
Anyway, when I found out what a feature was, she said that she and other scream queens, because that's what they refer to themselves as, scream queens. They're not trained actresses. They're just girls who supposedly do what actresses won't. I found out that that's not true because in my history, trained actresses have gone way beyond what scream queens do. But I was a fledgling. My skits didn't have nudity. Maybe there were girls in bathing suits or things like that. But so I read a book by Sid Field. Sid is spelled S-Y-D, on screenwriting. By the way, I didn't know that writing a script is called screenwriting. It's like,
okay.
I don't see any books on how to write a script. They're all about screenwriting. I don't know what that is, but
well, when you're just starting out and teaching yourself, basically, like terminology is the first thing you kind of get a hand on. It's not that big of a deal.
So this story will conclude momentarily. I wrote a practice movie called Metalheads, and I filmed it on camcorder, and Darren Kane was in it. What other notables? These were all scream queens. And I remember Darren Kane saying that if she's in it, it's going to get distribution. It got distribution, but that's not why. The distributor who picked it up, he I think in his words, he said, like, "This is terrible, but I like it." There's something about it. But, at the time, I didn't know how the industry worked. I thought I'd write a script, and then get $10 million, something to that effect. And the
That
reason
easy,
why
huh?
yes, well, I didn't know anything. Like, I didn't know how to write a script. Like, when I made skits, I just made them on a ridiculous premise that got more ridiculous and then ended in a way that you probably didn't predict or couldn't predict.
Yeah.
That was my rule. So if this skit wasn't funny, that was just 5 minutes lost. And I was thinking, how do I make 90 minutes? So the book by Sid Field, or anything like it, it's important to read that stuff because it clears the fog. Because before reading the book, I thought, like, this is a gigantic task, and just like breaking it down made it very easy. I did it. I shot everything on camcorder because I thought, when I pitch to get my $10 million, I'll have knowledge of how to make a movie. So I didn't really film it to release it. But when I edited it together, VCR to VCR, by the way, yep. I brought the VHS to the next horror convention and just handed it out because I didn't think it was ready to sell. You know, this is my practice movie, and I'm going to get $10 million to make the real version. But yeah, it landed in the hands of a distributor who called me, and the entire phone call, I thought, like, $10 million. Holy crap. Nope. He wanted it as is. You know, so then I refined it a little bit. I got an editing program called Adobe Premiere.
Gotcha.
And had to learn that. And it's really weird because every success I've ever had in life was something that happened that I didn't expect. Like, if I may, there's a horror convention called Fantasia Film Festival. It's in Montreal.
All right.
70,000 people.
Cool.
I didn't know what it was because I was told, yeah, you only need to submit to a film festival to get distribution. I already had distribution. My first 7 movies were on a camcorder. Don't watch them. Do not watch them. But someone from Synapse Films, Don May, at a horror convention told me that I should submit to Fantasia. I didn't know what it was. And I said the same thing, like, I already have distribution. Why would I do that?
Yeah.
And fast forwarding, I just wrote a letter to the guy's name was Mitch Davis. I don't know if he still runs the convention, but it was just an introduction. Hi, my name's Bill. This is what I do. And I sent him my movie Ass Monster. And I said, maybe in 10 years, I'll be good enough for my movie to play at your convention. And then a month later, he called me. I didn't know during the entire conversation, it was about, hey, we want to play your movie. When would you like to come to Canada? So other people, you know, who went to film school, you know, their films have higher budgets, more skill. They didn't get into Fantasia. You know, then once I was there, I was treated as if I were a real director. You know, so I was VIP. I didn't know that my food was paid for. So I ordered filet mignon just, you know, not to be a dick. I just ordered it because I love filet mignon. And I thought I should treat myself as a king. I'm in fucking Montreal. They're playing my movie in the theater, you know?
Yeah, splurge a bit. If there's any time to do it, it's now.
And David Arquette was there. And, you know, I was invited into karaoke. I thought karaoke was something at a bar where people get drunk and, you know, they laugh at the fools who are trying to sing.
No, and there are people nowadays doing karaoke streams here on YouTube. It's fucking everywhere, man.
But the difference is real karaoke it's a private thing in a room.
Yeah.
So I was in a room with all these directors and actors and actresses. And so I stayed quiet. Whereas I know that my peers would just be humping everyone's leg like, hey, you want to see my movie? Hey, give me a shot. Invite me to Hollywood, please.
Come on, man. Just give me a shot.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I'll wait for a question because I'm Tangent Man. If I were a superhero, it would be Tangent Man. And I guess I've had too much alcohol in life. So when I go on tangents, I rarely can come back. So let's keep it to your questions.
Well, here's the thing. Like, just based off of our interactions in your Elden Ring streams, like I knew we would instantly hit it off. So I have absolutely nothing prepped.
Oh, okay.
This is gonna be This is just gonna be a natural, fun conversation between the two of us. It's very chill. It's gonna be fine.
Well, I have the same problem with well, I don't think it's a problem. People think that because of my radio background that, when you're talking, you don't want dead air. That's the reason why I'm so verbose. I'm like, no, if you allow me, I could just talk, and talk and talk. I could talk to myself, and you could tune in. But I'm the same way with writing. So other people might suffer from writer's block. I have writer's too much. So
yeah. Well, speaking of your radio stuff, real quick, if you'd like me to plug that anywhere, just let me know.
Well, you could listen to my archives because it's really demanding of a person to take time out midday to listen to my show. Although that's a good time slot because people listen to me at work. And sometimes they crack up. Well, not on the present show, but I have a character called Professor Dum Dum. So if you go to wfmu.org, that's FMU, like why feel my ugliness .org, and just search for Professor Dum Dum, you'll get the archives and you could listen to them at your leisure. And even if you hate the music, you might be amused because I scream in a fake accent. People say it's German, but it's really Ukrainian. And there's a show called Hogan's Heroes where one of the Germans, instead of saying interesting, he seemed to say interesting. So I had bits and pieces just to make it sound ridiculous. And I asked people to call up. I asked listeners to call up and participate in whatever ridiculous question. Like I also have poetry contests, like write a poem if you're babysitting the baby Jesus and you accidentally put him in your friend's snake tank, and things like that. And people write poems. Yeah. And then I got on this kick of just ridiculing Jesus because on the radio, specifically this radio station, we are not allowed to make fun of any group of people. But with Jesus, I can't make fun of Christians. But to make fun of, you can't make fun of something that is far away from fun, like a Christian. I'm joking. Yeah. But I argue that Jesus is a public figure, so you can on radio ridicule public figures. So I tried that a couple of times. Of course, church ladies threatened to blow up the radio station. I'm not kidding.
I have no doubt. I say religious folks or people who are overly religious take that shit way too seriously. At the very most, they should be just like, okay, well, I guess you're going to hell. Good for me. Fuck off.
So I refer to them as the American Taliban. This is before I entered Texas, by the way. But yeah, Professor Dum Dum. What I wanted to say is when I veered away from the Jesus topic, people still brought Jesus into whatever the topic was. So it could be like, what kind of urine should you put in your hair? Like, oh, well, that was never a topic, by the way. It's the first thing that came to my head.
It's no worries.
But with radio and Christians, when I entered Texas, I had no idea how insidious religion was, coming from the Northeast. And I was horrified. I was horrified by a lot of things. I was fascinated too, because I went to some places that didn't seem to leave 1940, whether in thinking or it was bizarre. And so I was experiencing culture shock, and I could say 10 million things about but I had a radio show because of WFMU, which has quite a reputation among some radio stations throughout the country, maybe even throughout the world. So it has legendary status, and they heard archives of my characters, and so they gave me a show. And I don't know how they didn't hear me making fun of Jesus, or the ugly baby Jesus, as I refer to him. Some of the topics were like the ugly baby Jesus. So I
Uh,
said, look, you know, for me to play Professor Dum Dum, I need to cultivate an audience. So let me be Beelzebub for a while, and let me just build the fan base because I was taking over a show that prior to me arriving was punk rock or something like that.
Gotcha.
And then you know, Texans had to overcome their shock of me. So uh, it was music oriented, and then Texas passed the anti-abortion nonsense. And I'm not political. You
Mm.
might hear politics in my movies, but it's not to promote them. It's I
Yeah,
think when
that was actually a very interesting line that you never seem to cross in any of your stuff, at least none that I've seen so far. Like you are politically incorrect, but you're not overtly political. You're not endorsing
no
any one side or the other.
right. So usually I have characters that are extreme left or extreme right, and they battle.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Like yesterday, I was watching. What was it? Yeah, Holocaust Cannibal. And yes, there are Nazis in there, but you're not promoting anything.
yeah, it's not a pro-Nazi movie, but it was banned from FYE because like it had a huge amount of pre-orders, and then an executive saw like the word Holocaust, and he didn't read the synopsis where it's an anti-Nazi movie.
Lazy
And the irony is
bastards.
there were 7 other titles that were not anti-Nazi that had the word Holocaust in them.
Wow.
Fucking idiot. But so you know,
And
I'm just
obvious question. I presume that was inspired by the Cannibal Holocaust movie,
well
or at
in a
least
way.
the title.
Well, after I answer this, I want to get back to the radio station thing.
Okay.
I was at a horror convention, and I think it was the director or some cast from Cannibal Holocaust, and I wanted to yell at them and maybe
Yeah.
slap one of them because there was animal cruelty in the movie.
There
I was thinking, like,
was.
fucker, you know, how does that make the movie better? Like, you can make joke gore or fake gore because I think that fake gore looks better than like if you ever seen like the shockumentaries where you see real gore, it doesn't look cool.
Yeah.
Like movie gore looks cool.
Yeah, because it's very
But
exaggerated. You can cultivate it to make it look however you want. But
but
you know,
I
with
didn't intend to beat them up, but I was worried that I'd smack them around, no matter how old. Like fuck you, like the animal, like you were much stronger than the animal, and you like tied a skunk to a pole and had a boa constrictor constrict it. Like fuck you. I also think the same thing about people who have boa constrictors and feed them live mice.
really,
Like, how powerless are you? Are you such a person, by the way?
no, I don't have any pets actually. I don't give a shit.
All right, but you would never feed a live mouse to a boa constrictor. You know, like why would you induce suffering, like for amusement? Um, so I was afraid to confront them because a bitch slap might come out of nowhere. Like I have done that in the past, which is
Just
an
poor
interesting.
self control.
Well, no, it's an interesting. It's an interesting thing about the concept of free will,
Yeah,
because in neuroscience, we have learned that you make a decision before you are conscious of it. So
yeah,
before you are aware, you have already made the decision.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, the neurons activate about a quarter second or so before.
so, like an example of that is some person confronted me at a show, a metal show, and I guess you know this is my after the fact explanation. I guess that there were indications that I picked up that this is going to be a fight. So as
All
we're
right.
talking, suddenly my hand went around his throat. Um, it's like what the like? How am I going to tell that to the judge? So then he launched a
I had a
punch, and my
premonition, officer. You don't understand.
yeah. So um, then I had you know he threw a punch, and I had to take care of it,
Yeah.
and I didn't end him because this was New York City. It was outside of a show. Definitely cameras. I
Mm,
don't want to go to New York City jail. I've been in New York City jails before. Not
yeah.
fun. Not for reasons you think. It's just I'm a diabetic, and it's just like
And that
it
was the
seemed
most
like
convenient place.
they never heard of diabetes before. I'm like, I'm gonna die. They're like, you look fine. Like, no, you don't understand. But anyway, so
Wow.
getting back to the radio station.
I didn't. Yeah, I've only been to New York the one time. I did not know that their hospitals were less well stocked than their fucking police stations. That's wild.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I call New York City New York shitty, but
As you should.
So if it blows up, I'm not going to cry. Maybe tears of joy, but
Finally,
anyway,
it's gone. The
Yeah,
curse has
really.
ended.
Oh, it's about time, because the rest of New York looks great. Like New York State, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But with Texas, when they passed the anti-abortion stuff, this is the only time I ever became political publicly, like authentically political. But it wasn't really that. It was just like I said something to the effect of, look, truth is universal. What is true here is true on the moon. It's true in an African jungle. What you believe might not be true. It might just be a circumstance of your birth and how you were raised. So stop trying to make the rest of the world abide by the rules of your club. Fired. So I spent a few days in impotent rage. And I hope if I inspire you, it's this. Like, if you can solve a problem, solve the problem. But if you can't, don't just stew in rage. So in psychodynamic theory, Freud, there's something called sublimation, where you take negative energy and channel it into something socially acceptable. So I channeled this negative energy into a script called Jesus Was an Asshole.
That was the first movie of yours that I watched.
Really? So
Yeah.
I didn't make it to be good. I didn't make it to be good. It's just like, release the Kraken. No, expend the negative energy, make it, and then whatever. So what did you think of it?
I thought it was fucking hilarious. Like that bit in that bit after Mary is given the little rubber baby Jesus, and you guys start playing baseball with it again. Fucking dying laughing. I loved it.
Yeah. So even though it's absurd at the face, the story begins with Mary gave birth, and a guy comes up to her.
Sorry, quick side tangent.
Yeah.
And say, I've been telling some of my local acquaintances over here about you, and on one of my buddy's shelf, I'll just refer to him as Meth Mommy because that's his gamer tag. Apparently, it's up on his shelf now. Jesus Was an Asshole, right next to The Matrix and The Godfather.
And, come on! I didn't make the movie to be good. I meant it as a creative thing.
He put it up there mostly to be like shock value if anybody else is like perusing his collection.
Oh, I understand. Okay, but just very quickly, when Mary gives birth, she walks around with her baby, and some guy runs up to her and asks her, "Hey, are you here to play baseball?" Now, on the surface, that's absurd, but symbolically, that was me saying that's the equivalent of people saying Jesus of Nazareth, because, well, I think Jesus was a myth, and it's not just my personal thing. Like, you can look it up on your own. Like, if you still believe that he's real, blah, 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 that whatever. But the point is, when he supposedly lived, according to the legends of him, the myth of him, Nazareth wasn't a city yet. So, so I almost wanted to bring New York into the movie, but so that's my subtle thing. You don't really have to know why I did that, but it's just a ridiculous thing, like Mary playing baseball.
Movie ends.
Well, there's another thing too, though. Like, it's a sport that's only played in America, yet they have a World Series. So
yeah, that is pretty silly. But we like to big things up. No worries. I was just thinking that I thought it was hilarious that the way it ends, like basically Jesus has been informed that he's supposed to fulfill certain criteria to kind of live up to the legend. Oh, and Bill's gone. I'll give him a sec. All right. Well, for now, one of the things we were talking about prior to the stream was apparently he's down to send some copies of his movies my way. So if anybody's interested in, feel free to leave a comment or get in touch with me, and I will get those sent out to you. In the meantime, let's see. I'll just resend him the link just in case. So let's see. Movies of his I've seen so far. There was Jesus Was an Asshole, Holocaust Cannibal, Dick NATO. I have not yet seen Dick Shark, but I do have a copy, and that's gonna be fucking hilarious. There is. Oh, I recently picked up Zombie Christ just because I thought the preview in one of his other movies was fucking hilarious. Let's see. No response so far. Oh, so he was clearly like on his cell phone, and I don't know. Maybe it overheated, or he accidentally pushed the exit button, hasn't quite figured out how to get it back, or lost some signal. But yeah. Yeah, nothing so far. Let's see. Yeah, I put the link to what is her name? Darian Kane, the Scream Queen that I was mentioning earlier. I put the link to her IMDb in the chat. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, that would be awesome. And we're back. No worries,
Sorry
man. Shit
about that.
happens. It happens.
Right,
it happens.
What,
It's no worries.
what were you saying?
I
Before
was
we
say
were
that,
cut off.
rudely by the fucking cosmos and Cthulhu, clearly.
See what happens when you make fun of baby Jesus?
Ugly baby Jesus.
The ugly baby Jesus, yeah.
And now that we know why he's so ugly, he got whooped the fucking hell and back by his
Oh,
own
you were saying
mom.
you were saying something about the end of Jesus.
Yeah, the ending. I thought it was hilarious that Jesus decided he was going to be so committed to fulfilling the prophecies that the time traveler came back to tell him about, that he went back in time himself and then crucified the baby version of himself.
You're the only person who complimented the ending.
Really?
But maybe you're the only person who made it to the ending. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. Some people are quitters. I like to 100% everything I do.
But that's weird. You know, after the movie was released, I thought, I might have made a mistake. What if people see that as their first movie of mine? They'll never watch another one.
Well, I got like 6 or 7 of them over here somewhere.
So that was your very first one.
That was.
Did the nudity by any chance sway your opinion?
No.
No.
So I haven't told you yet, but I used to do like security work for lingerie models. And yeah, so nudity.
Tell them my phone number.
Will do.
Give them my
but no, I'm not swayed by nudity at all. It doesn't bother me or affect me. It's all whatever.
Well, it sort of bothers me. Well, nudity doesn't bother me. I just don't like seeing a love scene or a sex scene in a movie in which the girl keeps all her clothes on. Like, I just saw a movie called Obsession.
Yep.
And I thought, like,
that was the movie that was the first movie we discussed on stream here on this channel, and that whole stream was a fucking mess.
Well, I love the actress named Indy Navarrete. Her performance was outstanding. But there's a love scene, and I'm not spoiling anything, but I think it was rated R for man ass. So this guy's completely nude on top of her, but she's completely clothed. And I remember the first time I saw such a thing was a remake of Last House on the Left, where the girl is raped, her bra is still on, and her panties are on. I was thinking, like, Man, that must be a new like dick exercise where I don't have time to pull your panties off. I'm just gonna penetrate right through the panties.
I suppose. Or you could just rip them open. Either way.
So, so I think like if you're afraid of the subject matter, don't film the subject matter.
Absolutely. Like
let me make a movie about
just
football,
do it right.
but only do basketball.
Or we're gonna do football, but there's no contact or risk of concussions, or there's no running.
But again, realistically, I've discovered how squeamish average people are. So it's funny, like if I'm in a store and I'm compelled to pick up a movie, when I turn the back and it says rated PG, I'm like, ah! Ah! I want to see something for an adult.
My only weakness, civility.
But I don't mean that I want to see like boobs and everything.
Yeah.
But rated R also means that it's not for kids. So people can speak in a way that's not for like a PG-13 or PG or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm also angry. Like, I don't want to ridicule Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, but someone told me that it's rated R because someone said fuck 3 times. The third time, rated R. And I think it's ridiculous because from neuroscience, I learned that the idea of a word being bad is superstition. Superstition should not be rewarded.
I agree.
Right? So, I've often said, bad words are only bad if you're trying to sound smart. That's the only time that they're bad. You could use better language, but the idea of like, like how many times during an argument you've overheard like, stop cussing? Like, you're right, you won the argument. How wrong of me. But I also hate the word or the term cuss. Like, do you mean curse? Say curse, because that's really what you mean. Yeah. Like, does your wife wear a puss or a purse?
Right. So small tangent of mine. As far as language goes, the only bad word I've ever come across, I personally feel, is humanity. I personally feel that it implies a degree of denial about human nature that I personally don't like. But humans created scaphism. Are you familiar with that?
No.
Imagine.
I heard that you're not supposed to have sex with your staff if you're a boss.
Well, it's a lot worse than
scaphism or staffism.
Scaphism, like a scaffold. But
I don't know what that is.
No worries. I'll paint a little picture for you. So way back in the day, the Egyptians would do a thing, again, called scaphism, where they would basically sandwich a poor bastard between like 2 boats with his arms and legs sticking out of it.
Oh, and honey and stuff is poured in. All right.
And then they would have like bugs eat him alive from the inside out.
Well, that's not the only terrible thing.
I know there's tons of terrible things people have done, but to try to describe all of us in general in the word humanity or humane, which implies like a degree of civility, like this is like our idealized version of ourselves that we're using to describe humans as a whole. That's not fucking accurate.
True.
Humans are terrible.
Well, I also have a problem with the term human race. How many times have you heard that? You mean human species. So when human race was bandied about, it's a hippie thing. So whenever someone says the human race, my respect level just but then again, people really don't care about the way they speak generally. They don't guard their words. Like, you have to watch people who guard their words. So like, maybe it's cool that people are just like just repeating stuff. They don't really think about what they say. And then I think maybe I'm neurotic because I think too much about what I say, but I'm developing a script called Grammar Nazi. So I don't know if you ever heard me on the Elden Ring stream. like correct my own grammar, because I was thinking like, how can I write this script if I speak poorly myself? You know, but yeah, human race is something that bothers me. And then there are some people also say like, science has shown that there's no such thing as race. Like, science is not a consensus. Scientists keep battling each other. Like when one scientist conducts an experiment, any scientist all over the world should be able to conduct the same experiment, and the aim is to falsify or to find out, like, you know, like maybe if you wear sunglasses, you could look cool like Bill. No, that would be a study. That would not be an experiment. But so science doesn't try to prove; scientists try to disprove, and it's not to be nasty. It's just that you know, for something to become a theory, you only need to have 5%
accuracy rate.
Like possibly 5% you could be wrong. But in an experiment, you might think like, if you do this, it causes this, but there's something called a confounding factor, or multiple confounding factors, where so science should always update, but scientists are human, you know, they're humanity. They so, you know, they have their own biases, they want things to be true, whatever. But so I think it's in Grammar Nazi that I'm going to ridicule the idea of, or the saying, you know, Einstein said that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I'm like, no, that's scientific method. Yeah, that's scientific method. You do the experiment over and over again, trying to find different results to falsify the original finding, or whatever. You know, just that's the way.
Yeah, you're just testing it to see if it's actually sound.
But also, Einstein was a physicist. He was not a psychologist. And even if he were, insanity is not a psychological term. It simply just means you know right from wrong. That's all it is. That's what insanity is. You know right from wrong. So when you porked your neighbor's dog, did you know what you were doing, or did you think that was a reincarnation of your dead wife? You know.
It's a fair example.
Yeah, I'm very good at examples. I'm a fine example.
I've seen your movies.
Yeah.
They're literally just loaded with tangents, just like this.
Yes. Also, sometimes I do go on a tangent while filming, and that sometimes goes into the movie. And I remember when I remade Metalheads, it seemed like I was ranting, like improvising. And some guy said, I know for a fact that was improv. And he said it as if improvisation was an insult.
Which is dumb.
I defy you. Like when I go around with a microphone and I interview people, there are people who are deer in headlights, you know, or they cannot come up with something. So that's not something to disparage. But in the Metalhead scene.
No, like being able to move on your feet, that is a genuine like skill that a lot of people just don't have. Like any actor like can like read the lines, prep their delivery, and fucking nail it after maybe 1,000 shots or whatever. But to actually like what's a good example? Fucking like Marlon Brando or something. Like he would improvise stuff regularly on the spot.
Yeah, I don't know much about him, but you know, with the Metalheads thing, when the first remake DVD came out, there were some bloopers, and so I ranted about Bumblebee tuna. Like, why would you call tuna Bumblebee? Because like I get mad when there are bugs in my food. You know, so
as well you should.
It was a I don't know if soliloquy is the word, but it was a long rant, but it was all scripted, and the bloopers had me trying to memorize it. That didn't end it up in the movie, but it was a blooper or behind the scenes moment. And so people thought like, oh, he just made up everything in the movie. Really? No. You'd watch that movie and think I made everything up. But even if I did, like that's something to be proud of, you know, like just randomly saying, why would you call something Bumblebee tuna? But like I'm eating the chicken of the sea. Oh, I'm eating the bug of the sea.
Ooh.
But
nowadays when people are trying to push those fucking like Impossible burgers and stuff made out of plants and bugs and shit.
I don't know. Like, I guess we eat bugs because I think there are a certain amount of bugs that are allowed in your food.
Well, that's what folks
Um,
like Bill Gates are trying to push on people, but thankfully, most people aren't interested in eating any of that shit.
well, I have the same attitude toward that kind of stuff as I do toward getting raped by a dentist while unconscious. If I don't
Ah,
know, I don't care. Like,
that's it.
yes, yeah. So if this burger is delicious, don't tell me what's in it. Please don't tell me what's in it.
Yeah.
My favorite food is at a Korean restaurant in Montclair, New Jersey. It's called Coriander.
Okay.
And the reason why I say this is it's beyond Korean food. Like, I've traveled the country.
Mm,
There's nothing like it. So there's chicken bokum. I found out that bokum just means stir fried,
yeah.
but it's not like any other stir fried chicken in a Korean restaurant. This is a master chef. He made his own sauce for it, probably with semen. So as I said, like,
Potentially.
don't tell me what's in it. If it tastes good, don't tell me what's in it.
This is churrasco.
But I remember when I left New Jersey, I had dreams that I returned to that restaurant. That's how much I love this food.
That's
So,
awesome.
But while I missed that, I went on YouTube to try to find out how to make something similar. And, a lot of failure, principally because I don't know the secret formula. The guy did
Yeah.
not even tell his wife,
Wow.
so I hope that if he dies before she does, continue that or give me the recipe.
Please.
But I've realized that even if I could bring something to like maybe 50% of what I once enjoyed,
That's
I'd
good.
rather not know. I don't want to know how it's made.
Yeah.
I just want to eat it.
Yeah.
So the only exception to that with food is cookies, because I'm a master of chocolate chip cookies. I can make them buttery and flat and ooey and gooey, or I can make them fluffy, full of flour. Deflower the cookie. I deflowered the flour back.
Oh no!
I don't know
he
what
he devirginated the olive oil.
Oh, speaking of diverging, I talked to the general manager at WFMU because whenever I go back to New Jersey for 1 to 3 weeks to film or to do other things, like drugs. But I'm kidding about that. I'm kidding.
No, he doesn't go there at all. He just does the drugs at home.
No, actually, I don't know if it was you, but someone asked me how much pot I smoke. I said 0. I don't smoke pot.
Yeah,
I get drunk a lot,
now?
but I don't smoke pot.
Cool.
Probably because when I first tried it, it made me paranoid. So I guess my brain is not really wired for marijuana. But
it's like when I tried it for the first time, really, I just didn't like that I couldn't remember anything. Like, this is
try
dumb.
drinking. Try drinking.
I drink every fucking night, dude.
No, I remember. I've never lost memory. It's just that there are so many ridiculous things that I have done while drunk that when people say like, "Hey, you remember when you took off all your clothes and you did push-ups in the middle of the intersection?" I'm like, I don't remember that. So it takes some coaxing because I do stuff like this all the time. So I don't have like, maybe you might do something ridiculous once, but I do it all the time. I fall down all the time. I wipe out. But getting back to the radio station, I asked the general manager, or I told him like, look, I've been dying to tell this joke on the air, but I don't think with the FCC regulations and stuff like that, like I can get away with it. Definitely not during daylight. It's off again, on again with the safe passage. Like after a certain hour, you can do this, and then it reverses, and it's like, if people could tell what you're alluding to, you get in trouble as if you actually said it. Like, really? Or are we in Monty Python? But
yes.
But I told him the joke, which I think was in my movie Jesus the Total Douchebag, which had the singer of Gwar. I don't know if you've ever heard of Gwar.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar. God, what an awful racket.
Yeah, so Oderus Urungus played Satan in my movie. And it's out of circulation, but I'm going to re-edit it. Principally, I do want to re-edit it because I thought it was funny. But I have a lot of behind the scenes footage. So, the singer died. And so it's for his fans to see how the fuck he acted like in real life. Like that guy was hilarious. He was also had a very big heart. But getting back to the joke, I told this general manager, all right, in the old days, virginity was proved by the hymen being intact. And I think it's because like women were more property than having humanity.
Oh my God.
So, if you want to marry this woman, you want to make sure that she's only yours, nobody else's. I think that's the same justification for clitoridectomy. Like if part of the clitoris is cut off, she'll have no pleasure, so she'll not cheat on you. Like, you do not know women,
Right.
But yeah, that's practiced in some countries. Which I hope I hope if reincarnation is true. Yeah, you finished.
I was gonna say I just got terrible flashback to watching Human Centipede 3.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Well,
that's another one. Like a Human Centipede, that's a cop out. Like, I don't want to see girls in diapers. Like, show me like ass to mouth. But right. Anyway, I fear that if reincarnation is real, I'm gonna start life as an Arab woman. One day, grandma brings me into the bathtub with a razor blade. I'm like, oh, how could you do that? Stop that.
That is fucked.
Well, anyway,
yeah.
The joke is, and I told the general manager this. Virginity was measured or proved by the hymen being intact.
Yeah.
So when Jesus was born of a virgin, when what is it called? Immaculate Conception.
Yeah, Immaculate Conception.
Yeah. So it was one of two things. Either God's penis was so small or narrow that he could go into the birth canal and not disturb the hymen, or well, regardless of that, and I knew I couldn't say that on the radio, but so that means she was a virgin when she was when she conceived. That means when Jesus was born, he deflowered his mother.
Oh no!
And the general manager said, "I don't understand it, but yeah, go ahead, say it."
Yeah, fuck it, why not?
So,
turns out, yeah, or an alternative version.
There was no
God
trouble.
Is just like a sniper.
There was no trouble, but I think I really should have. So, are you sure? And explain a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was no fine, no FCC fine, no jail or anything like that. But
nobody threatened to blow up the place.
Yeah, but you probably have observed that a lot of the battles for religious rights and stuff like that aren't for all religions. They're just for Christians.
Yeah.
And they justify it. They're saying, like, our founding fathers were blah, blah, blah. I was thinking, you do know that when the Constitution was written, people didn't even see sperm under a microscope with an egg. Like they didn't see it in action. That there was a lot of ignorance when the Constitution was written. I'm not saying rewrite the Constitution or anything like that, because again, I'm not political.
Yeah,
but
that's
giving reverence, like, even if it's true about like Christians and founding American stuff like that, like that was in an age of ignorance. Although if you read the Odyssey, you'd be considered educated.
Yeah, as we were talking about before the stream.
Bringing back the Odyssey.
Yeah. Have you got the chance to watch it yet?
I will never watch it.
Oh yeah, okay. Have you seen any other movies recently?
No, but I guess we talked about the Odyssey before we went live.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah, we were chatting about it a little bit.
If I may quickly say, I'm re-editing a movie called Santa Claus Serial Rapist. I had a Kickstarter for the re-edit called The Age of Lead, because at its heart, the movie is not about Santa Claus. It's about ancient Greek mythology. And so the Greeks believed in the ages of man, or maybe if they didn't believe it, it's part of their mythology. So there was the Golden Age, the Age of Silver, the Age of Bronze. I don't mean the Bronze Age, like bronze armor, stuff like that. So they each had their own things. And the last age did not come yet. It's supposed to be a very dark age called the Age of Lead. But I forgot that, I'm not going to say anything about Christopher Nolan's Odyssey. There's a lot of controversy. I'm just not going to watch it because it's made for the 100 IQ or lower. Having read the Odyssey, I don't want to see a bastardization of it. Just like I want to punch Del Toro in the face for making Frankenstein into a superhero movie. When the Frankenstein monster, there's the most poetic and sorrowful character in all of literature, and he into a superhero.
He's the coolest fucking character. But,
oh God!
I absolutely love that.
God.
No, but I absolutely love the book and that story in general. There's a reason it's been remade like fucking 600 times, I think. But yeah, quick note from the chat. Sin was like, I will never watch the Odyssey either. I will, however, watch the 97 version. Woman after your own heart right there.
Well, yeah, tell her my phone number and all the details about my physical prowess and stuff like that. The legends of me.
Indeed.
And provide her with a blindfold for when we consummate our marriage. But
well, she's another YouTuber. If you like, I'll bring her on.
Well, you can. But with the Odyssey, I'm not emotionally invested in the book. However, I do not want to watch a bastardization of it. And with Frankenstein, it's a movie I've wanted to make all my life, and I thought that it's the only movie that I said I would do, and I have not done yet. But I'm now actively working on it because I now realize I'm never going to get a budget for it. So just make it the best I can with what I have, and maybe it'll inspire someone else. So I can't give what Hollywood will give, but in a way that's good because Hollywood would look down on the poetic language of Frankenstein. The monster read Milton's Paradise Lost. He even compared himself to Lucifer. When I read Paradise Lost, I thought Lucifer was a sympathetic character. And I thought something's wrong with me. And when I read Frankenstein, I thought the monster was a sympathetic character. And I thought, what is wrong with me? Do I have antisocial personality disorder?
No, but you're actively like looking at the text and seeing what's there and drawing an actual conclusion.
Right. But with Frankenstein, I thought that I'd have an angel investor because somewhere along the line I heard that publishers of poetry expect no profit. They just publish the books to preserve the art form. And I thought something like that might happen with my idea of Frankenstein. But because of nudity, like I'll have nudity in my Frankenstein. Because Mary Shelley in life was a free love person. So for her to, just reserve sex for the wedding night, that was a little unrealistic. But I'm not giving away any of my changes. It's just that I'm not afraid of boobs. And I don't think that boobs make women look stupid or demean them. And as far as objectifying them, like in a positive way, like I'm sure that if your girlfriend and you were in bed, if you refuse to look at her boobs, like, oh, I don't want to objectify you. Like, don't you like them? Right. Well, not yours, because my grandmother has better boobs than you. But if she had nice boobs, all right, I'm just fucking around right now.
But what are you doing looking at your grandmother's boobs, bro?
but with Frankenstein, I remember when I saw Robert Eggers' movie The Witch. Have you seen that?
I have.
I went to the theater and I was blown away because I was thinking there's no rap music. People aren't speaking in American slang, and it's an earlier version of English. It's not old English. But I was in awe. Like, no matter what happened, like, even if they did something stupid, I don't care. Like, I was orgasming the whole time. Maybe that's the wrong word, but the equivalent mentally, spiritually. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, someone yelled, "This shit needs subtitle." And I wanted to yell, "This shit is in English." But the reason why I bring that up is I'm preserving the language of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. All the dialogue, none of it's dumbed down or anything like that. And although it's not in the archaic English of The Witch, it's still archaic. And so that's going to lose a lot of people. So this is just a passion movie for me.
Nice.
But getting back to the Odyssey that I'm not emotionally invested in my movie, with the Kickstarter for it was called The Age of Lead, but it's really going to be called The Gods Are Rapists, because I think that's a better title. Um, but my character, I forgot. I filmed this in like 2015, 2016. So I'm very bad with years.
No
I don't
worries.
even know how old I am. So, because I always lie about my age. Like when a girl asks, like, "How old are you?" I ask, "How old do you think I am?" Whatever her answer, it's not what my true age is, and I just say, "You must be psychic." I know how to talk. I know how to talk to girls, but but with
No,
but
I
with
was
the
thinking that I used to know a guy with a really strong like British accent, and but he was a bit all over the place, so you couldn't quite pin it down. And whenever he would always have people try to ask, and no matter what answer they give me, be like, "Oh my god, you're the first to know."
Odyssey
Oh,
thing, because I think it's important. I said in the movie, and this is from a long time ago before Christopher Nolan. By the way, when Christopher Nolan announced that he's working on it, I was excited.
mm,
But then when I heard more stuff about it, like, all right, it's super dumbed down, not in the same spirit as not that it's like an amazing book, but I just don't want to see a bastardization or anything watered down for like stupid Americans or a stupid audience. I don't want to see anything like that unless it has boobs. Like if you told me it had boobs all over the place, I can't wait. I'm gonna watch it 3 times in a row.
it's a
But
strong selling point for some folks.
but in my movie, again, this is not to do with Nolan. I just said my character said that the Odyssey could never be made into a movie, and the explanation was that I guess worldwide, unless it's like art house, um, definitely not for commercial. Like you can read sex and gore in a
Hmm.
book, even if it's vividly described. You cannot depict it in a movie. So the example I give for gore is when soldiers are defeated in the Odyssey, they're emasculated. Their dicks and balls are cut off.
Yeah.
Not that I want to see dicks and balls in a movie, but I was just making
No,
a
you just
point
want it to
that
be accurate to the story.
but as I said, in the early 1900s, you were considered educated if you read the Odyssey. So how
Mm.
could a revered work of literature have all this in it, but the movie can't? And then I think we talked about me discovering how squeamish a lot of
Yeah.
people are.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just can't handle it. So I wonder if they could read the book. Like, oh, it says here that like stuff is going on. What is that? They must be talking
Um,
about hot dogs or something.
yeah, I'm sure there's a whole subset of people that would be just pleasuring themselves to it nowadays because yeah, book talk's going way the fuck out of
Oh,
left field.
Odyssey, Odyssey.
Oh my god, Odysseus.
Uh,
But no, that's mostly the ladies that are getting off on books.
I don't know if this is true. I've not read the 50 Shades of Grey, but I heard that it was very poorly written.
Oh, I'm
Um,
sure. Yeah,
and I, and
originally
I,
that was like a fan fiction for Twilight.
I don't know the history, but it relates to something I'm going to say.
Okay.
So I wondered, like, how could a poorly written book do well? And then I learned later on that advice for me, because I am writing a tragedy fantasy, something that has never been done before. Because I'm not a
Ooh.
purist of any one style. I like to combine things. So
Yeah.
I'm combining medieval fantasy with tragedy. Um, and the advice that I keep hearing from people who have succeeded in publishing, by the way, I'm
Cool.
probably going to self-publish it because I don't know how long I have left to live. I want to see the book in book form. I don't want to,
Nice.
get the deal and then 5 years later maybe it comes out in a limited run.
Yeah.
But anyway, uh, generally the advice is don't write well. And I thought it was a joke. Like, what do you mean don't write well? Well, if you write well, it's going to be considered homework.
Yeah, it might
And
put off
then
some people.
the coincidence of this is I just finished re-editing a scene with Susie Lorraine. I shared on the Kickstarter thoughts. Like I wasn't trying to insult her, but she's a scream queen. She's not a trained actress, and I gave her
Yeah.
a serious role, and I had to remove almost all of her dialogue. Uh, the original version of the movie, Santa Claus Serial Rapist, it's intact, but even this was not archaic dialogue. She couldn't handle it. Like there were 2 lines from Edgar Allan's
Yeah.
poem Edgar Allan's Poe poem.
Yeah.
If he were a ghost, he'd be Edgar Allan Poltergeist. But it was like, I could not bring my passions from a common spring. And then the next line, and she kept stumbling over it. She's like, this is what you would tell someone to say if you wanted to fuck them up. So I told her, like, don't think about it, because you can't act. Just say it. Say the fucking sentence. So I said, just look at it as a wordless, like, just repeat words. Like, although they have a meaning, or maybe not to you, just say the line without thinking about it. Like a word list, like apple pie, giraffe, birds,
waterproof brick bouquet.
Yeah. And so this was a long shoot that didn't need to be that long. And so in the re-edit, I'm scrapping all of it because it's just, but I had to watch all this footage over and over again from different camera angles. And her constantly saying, like, this doesn't make sense. It makes sense. It makes sense.
It's just because you don't understand
you would
it.
Talk. So I made a big mistake casting her for the role. But the point of it is, to find humor in this. After a few hours, I realized we're not going to finish filming because she's taking half an hour to 45 minutes to say 2 lines. And the agony of watching her just say the line and then just start laughing like, this is stupid.
Well, one real easy solution for that would be just to have the one character have like old-timey sound cards. Where
No. So it's actually better off. I just wanted to point out, to put humor into this, that finally when I realized, if I don't alter the dialogue, we're not going to finish. Even if we had a week, we're not going to get through this. So I said, all right, alter your dialogue shot per shot and just let me look at it first. And then at a certain point, I quit. Like, mentally in my head, I was like, fuck this movie. I'm not fuck this movie. Fuck her, fuck this movie. But this is the irony, right?
Yeah.
So, the way she changed the lines was to add, I mean, why? That was the trick, just adding verbal static to. So, anyway,
at least you. No, you wouldn't be able to. If it was just audio, you might be able to cut around it a little bit. But like, that's...
there are ways around it. There seriously are ways around this, but a re-edit allows me to reimagine what I've done before. And a lot of times I'm very grateful because I had merciless deadlines. It's easier for me now. I don't have these such short periods of time to finish something, finish a project. But I stepped outside of it. Instead of forcing garbage into the script, I took the best performances and thought, could I use this? And that's exactly what happened. So if you see the new version compared to the old version, it's a stronger story. And I know that there'll be times in the future where I miscast people, and I'm using the agony of having edited this scene that should have taken me half a day, 3 days. It's the 3rd day. I'm not finished yet. So I have to remind myself of the pain I'm going through now. Like, in the future, Bill, do you want this to happen to you again? So if a character is not right for the part and I discover it on the day of the shoot, I should have a backup character, like, just in case this person's stupid, for lack of a better word.
Well, you got to be honest with them. Yeah, it's not going to do anybody any good if you're just like, well, she's just not cut out for it. But no, if she's actually changing the words or unable to deliver it and shit, like, that's you can't work with that, literally. Like,
however, if I hired a voice actress to just record in her studio and send me the footage, and only had footage of Susie's boobs and and thighs, I don't think anyone would have complained.
Yeah,
Like, wow,
you
that
can.
was a great performance. Man,
Yeah,
Bill
you can
Zebub's a
have.
genius.
Yeah, you can just fix. You can just throw some ADR in there, make it look kind of like Kung Pao Enter the Fist, where
I made a movie called Science is Fiction, which I'm going to re-edit for a variety of reasons. But I bring that as an example because there was this one actress. I'm sorry, Scream Queen.
mm,
Um,
it's important.
I could say a million things about this, but I'll just say this. Um, I didn't realize that she looks like Ernest Borgnine. Like,
Who's that?
fuck. So I thought, all right, I'm gonna do something avant-garde. I'm not gonna show her face. In that movie, whenever she spoke, it was like from the neck down. Uh, and
Oh,
then I was
Ernest's
supposed to
got
have
a nose on him.
like, I don't want to kiss Ernest Borgnine.
No,
But
my
I
only weakness.
so I want to revisit that. It I've made a lot of mistakes in life and in film. But I think people are surprised that I know that I'm bad, but I'm not ashamed of making 5 movies or more a year, because how many people do that?
Exactly.
I've met people who make one movie every 5 years, but it's not like they're making Eraserhead. They're making movies that are the same quality as the ones that I'm making at 5 a year. So,
Mm.
um, and
Yeah.
also movie making is something you learn by doing it. So I learned by mistakes, and I'm glad that I keep making mistakes. I'm a learned person.
Hell yeah. Like, like I
But
told you earlier, like
or
the
let's break
stream.
this. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like the stream that started off this whole thing was an absolute fucking mess. There was technical issues on every side. The conversation that we had was absolutely unproductive as hell. It was just an absolute nightmare from start to finish. But I've been doing it every week since then, and it's fine. I don't give a shit. Like as long as you don't hold on to the mistakes and you just learn from them and keep moving, you'll be fine.
Well, I said earlier that the distributor gave me a contract for my first movie that was a practice movie. It was not meant to be seen as a movie, um, and it was flawed. And he found something in it like he couldn't stop watching it.
Mm.
And of course, there are people who have a different reaction, like, "What the fuck is this?" Um, what you just illustrated is there is a diversity in humanity, because you love that
Oh
word.
no.
So no
My only
matter
weakness.
no matter what you do, there will be people who like what you do.
Yeah.
Look at me. The majority of people despise me as a person because
Mm.
of my movies. They despise my movies, but yet I've made a living from it. I was in the psychology field. I was in the computer field. I'm
Mm.
not saying that I made more. Like, for a few years, I made more money, but I just need enough money to eat and to make more movies. I don't really care about anything else.
Yeah.
Um, but so if you're, motivated by luxury, like, to me, a luxury is like a good camera.
Mm.
Um, yeah,
Other
I could
people
go
will
on a
think of
tangent.
luxury as like a good bed or something.
Uh, yeah, I could sleep I could even sleep sitting down. So,
Hmm.
but the point is, you pointed out I'm sorry. The point is, you pointed out, that's excellent speech. You,
Practicing for your grammar Nazi movie. I see.
you kept going. Not everybody does that. Like, I tell people, the people who succeed are not smarter than you or more talented. They just do instead of talking about doing.
No.
So,
Yeah, they just
I
have
had
the
nothing.
audacity to keep trying.
Yeah, and you know, some of the people who don't like my movies, I don't like them on a personal level. Like, I know that we could never hang out, you
Yeah.
know. But it's okay for someone not to like what I do. Like, um my friends, my real friends,
Mm.
don't like my movies, and they laugh at the idea of someone buying one of my movies. So if you ever meet someone who says, like, "Oh, I know Bill, he's amazing, he's talented," that person doesn't know me.
Yeah,
The
I was gonna
people
say
who know
that.
me ridicule me, like, I'm low on the totem pole among my friends. I'm at the bottom. Um, but I'm okay with that. So I guess maybe I should add to this that depending on what you want in life, if you want glory. By the way, that's another thing. In the Odyssey, I have to cut this from the Gods Are Rapists movie, but I
Mm,
talked about how in the Odyssey, uh, sacrificial blood is needed for you to talk to the spirits in Hades, and
yep.
the spirits in Hades are in sort of like a semi-comatose state. And when Odysseus talked to Achilles, the main takeaway for me is Achilles, who was a legend. He was
Yeah.
this great warrior. He told Odysseus, "Do not seek glory," and he talked about he'd rather be, a shepherd than a king in Hades or whatever.
Mm,
And so that's the opposite of Paradise Lost, where Lucifer says better to reign in hell than serve in heaven.
mm.
Not according to Achilles. Achilles is not having a good time. Um, but yeah, I have to cut that. And I guess the point of it is like whatever I do is not for glory; it's for the fun of doing it.
Yeah,
You know,
and that's one of the things I really like about your movies is irrelevant of the overall quality of them, you can tell that everybody's having fun,
unless you're filming with Susie.
except for her.
But I must say on a positive, and to be HIV to be HIV positive, she's amazing in comedy, but
Gotcha.
can't be drama, and definitely not anything other than conversational English. You
I
will
say nothing
mess her up.
Victorian. No period pieces for her.
Yeah, yeah. I've never made a movie about menstruation. Get it?
No.
Period piece. Ha!
Ha!
Philosophy humor.
Oh no. Well, joke's on you. In Zombie Christ, I noticed the string in one of the chicks.
But oh, you
Maybe,
did.
yeah, maybe introduce her to the Diva Cup.
Wait, that's not the only movie that had tampon string.
Well, it's the first one I noticed. And again,
Uh,
you've got like 69 movies. I've seen like 6 of them so far, but whatever.
yeah. Well, I
Oh,
think
yeah.
in Zombie Christ, if it's Jordana Lee, she tucked it in, and I thought it was funny. I think that a woman's bottom is sexier with a G string because it accents the curves.
Mm,
Uh, so the only reason why I show clam, as it's called by some people,
yeah.
is because it's pushing a boundary. But I don't need to do that. Like when I look at a girl, I'm like, "Can I see your pee-pee?" Uh, it's much sexier like a G string. Again, I just love the accents of the shapes.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It's not the size of anything. It's the proportions of, the how they, it's the proportions of the whole body. And
so I
clearly a man
wonder,
of culture and taste here.
I wonder the guys who like to see clam, why they like to see clam. Like, do they like because it's forbidden? You're not supposed to see it, and now you see it.
Probably.
Um, but the tampon string was to be like, all right, so you see clam, but you also see that. Like, did you change your mind? Do you not want to see it now? But I remember in Ant Farm Dickhole, what's her name? I think she went under the name Taylor Tide.
Okay.
She also filmed in Jesus the Total Douchebag on the same day,
Nice.
and she knew all the camera angles. So I don't surprise people. I made fun of a director. He made movies before I made movies, but his way of getting girls to be naked was he tell them it's a completely innocent scene and then suggest more. And then
That's
his
fucked.
girlfriend, yeah, and then his girlfriend said, "Oh, you know what would make this better? To be topless." And she's like, "Oh my god, this is so liberating. Don't you feel it?" Yep. By the way, you don't have to talk anyone into doing anything. Like all the craziest things that I have filmed was completely voluntary, no hoodwinking, because no matter how bizarre the scene, there are people who will be happy to film it. Especially the other thing is like when people ask how do you get girls naked, like I pay them.
Yeah.
But also I have casting notices. Like I don't go up to girls like, hey, I'm a director. And so as much as there are people who participate, there are also candidates who reject the script. Or
Of
like, oh,
course.
I don't want to do that. So you don't have to ever manipulate someone into doing something on film. And man, I went on a tangent. Don't know how to get back.
No, it's fine. I
What
was
were we
just
talking
thinking.
about?
I don't know.
Oh,
But
tampons. So Taylor, as with anybody else, received not only the script but the shots, and I believe occasionally have shot storyboards, so they see what the camera angles are, and they always know where the cameras are. There's no hidden cameras or anything like that. And so she had to in the movie she gives birth.
I have to get this one.
And the camera's between her legs, right?
Yeah.
And I saw the tampon, and I thought, well, she knows where the camera is. She knows what I'm filming. But when she saw the movie, she was revolted.
Oh.
She never talked to me again. And then, like, mutual models told me she was butthurt. Wait a minute. How, you put that tampon in your pee-pee. How do you not know that? Like, the camera is like the camera's right here
there. Yeah.
on your pee-pee. Like, I wonder if he'll see the tampon. So, you know, I wish that I had gone back and apologized. Like, I don't think she would have worked with me again for that reason. But I tried to be very open about everything. I remember when Misty Monday or Aaron Brown was in Dick Shark, which was very exploitational. Like, she specialized in exploitation, but this was like times a million. And after every scene, I asked, "Are you okay?" Because that's what I do for everything. You know, I even tell actresses, like, if an actress is in a scene with somebody who's not me, like, can you imagine something like that? I tell her, like,
fuel right there.
but I tell her, like, look, if you get any kind of creepy vibes, tell me privately, and I'll work it. And I said that, you know, maybe other directors don't know that we're irrational, and by irrational I mean emotional. And I point this out because, like, maybe her co-star could be an abuse. He could remind her of an abusive ex-boyfriend. So I said, "Don't worry, you're not." I said, "Don't worry, you're not going to be fired." Or even if, like, you agree on the phone, because I talk profusely about what we're going to film, so there are no illusions. It's better to take care of all the questions ahead of time than on the set. Like, why do I have to do this? You don't have to, but it's in the fucking script, you fucking cunt. But anyway, Aaron after the fact kept asking, like, you know, what was up with you constantly asking me, are you okay? Like, because I wanted to know if you were okay. Because I met her socially.
Yeah.
You know, it was in the horror convention, and her boyfriend at the time made movies with her. And for that reason, I didn't ask her to be in a movie for years, many years. And then I just thought, you know, she hasn't filmed in a while, so, like, maybe ask her, you know. So she was in Holocaust Cannibal. That was her first role with me.
And remind me, who was she playing again?
At the end, she played
the redhead.
Yeah, she had kind of a bob.
Yeah.
That was her.
Yeah, the chick she was the escaped Jew.
Oh, so this is funny. She still had that corny haircut when I filmed with her in Dick Shark, and what else was she in? Nightmare on Elmo Street. So I made her wear wigs. And it was funny because, like, her and Lydia Leal both said, like, "Hey, I have this wig that's a bob." No. I'm like, yeah, the guy you're with is saying, like, "Oh, that's cute." But guys in general, like, I don't want to have sex with a girl who has shorter hair than I do. You know, like, so jokingly, when I've met girls who have short hair, I say, like, "Yes, sir."
But bro, you're telling this to a bald guy. What the fuck?
Well, isn't it crazy that there are some guys who have very healthy hairlines who have, you know, they shave their head bald or they have crew cuts? That's almost like having a big dick and, like, no, I don't want to have sex. Like, that's for suckers,
right?
You know. So I love hair. It's just my body thinks I love forehead too. Like, how big is it? Is it?
You can like both.
Oh, I wish my dick were that big.
Whoa.
See, all my dick size went into my forehead. It's terrible.
Gives you that big brain
but
that you've
there was this
destroyed with
other
alcohol over the years.
this other model, Amanda. Her acting name is like Sherry. I didn't give her last name, but during Dick Shark, did the same thing. Like, are you okay? Are you okay? She's like, did someone yell at you? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, well, you keep asking me if I'm okay. Like, she said, don't worry. If you do anything wrong, I'll tell you. Like in that case, and then she got pregnant.
Oh,
She
wow.
still didn't tell me I did anything wrong. But but I'm not. Well, I don't know if I could say that I'm not sleazy, but I don't manipulate. Again, everybody knows everything ahead of time. It's not like there's no surprise kissing, there's no surprise touching. I remember you saw Dick Nato.
Yeah.
There's an actress in there, Mel Heflin, and she had heard about me prior to filming. So when she read the script, she said ordinarily she said no, it's very rapey, but
Mm.
because it was me and my reputation, she said yeah, definitely. And then
Nice.
when we filmed the first, I don't know if it was rape. It was definitely like, have fun with a tied up girl kind of a scene.
Yeah.
And she said, "Oh my God." I'm like, "What?" I thought she was going to say something bad. She said, "I thought we'd be filming for 40 minutes." Like, no, it's, if I may explain, if I were a director and not the editor, I
Yeah.
would film for coverage. So I'd
Mm.
film everything like a million times from a different million angle. So then the editor has choices. But because I'm the editor, I make my editing decisions ahead of time, usually. Like sometimes if there's time, I allow myself to film coverage. But
Yeah.
like the love scene is like, no, I'm not. It's called a master shot where you go from beginning to end in a wide scene that has everything. I don't
Gotcha.
do that because I know as the editor that I'm only going to film a couple of seconds in that angle. So I only film a couple of seconds. So what you see on screen, like it goes from close up or here's this angle, that's all I film. I don't film the whole thing over and over again. And then I laughed because I was thinking like, man, that would be a cool way. Like, why date anyone? Let's just hire an expert. But I'm not that way. That's another thing. I
Mm.
will only kiss or fondle co-star if I'm not attracted to her. I know that sounds weird because these are attractive ladies, but I mean like personally attracted.
Yeah.
Because as
Because you don't
ugly
want to
as
make
I
it weird.
am, but I just look at it as cheating, right?
Mm.
So, when you kiss, it feels much differently if you kiss a woman after a courtship or after you develop feelings. There's sexual tension.
Yeah.
It's a much different sensation than like, oh, I'm fucking drunk, meow, meow, meow. Or even if you're not drunk, like, oh, you're hot, meow, meow, meow. I vocalize. I'm very vocal as a lover.
That's fine.
Meow, meow, meow. Um, but yeah, Mel Heflin was very surprised because I kind of joked with her like, man, you've been in a lot of physical scenes with dudes, and they're like, yeah, 45 minutes.
God damn.
Just improvised. So that's another thing. Like, there's no improvised hand touching. There's no contact that's not scripted.
Mm.
So when whatever you see that has hands on a woman, that's 100% not only scripted, but before the filming, it's mimed.
Yeah.
So, like, let's say the hand goes toward the boob, like this goes. Are you okay with that? Are you okay? So
Mhm.
even after the okay is done on the phone and the girl is hired, we still go through things on the set. There's never been like a no, don't do that. Maybe the only exception is this girl Rachel Crow in a scene in The Lesser Evil. Um, she was fondled and then her nipples were licked, um, just to show violation. Because
Yeah.
in a movie that is not porn, the only violation you could show is tongue in mouth or tongue
Mhm.
on nipple or sucking
Yeah.
nipple. So that's
Yeah.
the reason for it. It's just to show, like, if you're going to be a rape victim, you're going to be, something's going to be done that's a violation.
Of course.
And so
Naturally. That's part of the
after
fucking definition.
after we finished the scene, I asked her, is it okay to do a safety from other angles? And she said, yeah, but it was a surprise to her. about the nipple licking. Like she had a boyfriend at the time. I think she
Mm.
had a kid with him years later, but
Okay.
it felt like cheating or whatever.
Understood.
So for the safety, I just asked, like, could I just put my mouth over and pretend I'm sucking? She's like, yeah, that's fine.
Mm.
So I didn't say like, you said you would allow me.
No, people have their personal boundaries, and they're allowed to enforce those.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'm giving away the secrets. For the longest time, I did not show behind the scenes of what I call the roughies, like the disturbing horror, rapists,
Like,
serial killers.
kill
Because
the scream queens.
yeah. But
Yeah.
then I thought, maybe I should put a warning for the behind the scenes, like, once you watch, you cannot unwatch. Because I remember loving the Lord of the Rings movies, but then seeing how they were done in repeat viewings, I was like, oh, that's just done in a fucking parking lot.
Yeah.
It's like fake snow. Like, so I can't stop thinking that. But I think that
Yeah.
most
Once you've been
fans,
burdened with knowledge.
most fans love the behind the scenes. I think if you were like a perv, who had like rape fantasies or something like that, like it would disturb you. Like, why are they laughing? Because
Right.
that's another thing that most people don't understand. Like, as disturbing as the scene looks, the hardest thing about filming is not laughing.
Can confirm. I have seen the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And one of the for Kill the Scream Queens, one of the behind the scenes bit actually had me choking up pretty hard, because it's when you're tying the wire around the chick's nipples, and you just earnestly like look up at her real quick, and you're like, you don't have a heart condition, do you?
I think that was cut from the movie.
It was.
There's a lot of tease in the original Kill the Scream Queen. So in the re-edit, I had a Kickstarter for the Kill the Scream Queen. It is going to be released on Blu-ray at some form. I just don't know if I will combine it with another movie. Like, maybe it would be good to combine it with The Lesser Evil.
Okay.
Like, maybe that would be a good combination. Still not sure. But
Yeah,
with the wire around the nipple, like that's an example of, like, when writing, it's clear in your imagination, but then the reality might not be that way.
Yeah,
So
you might not be able to get it to stay there.
We could not keep the wires on our nipples. So then I thought, like, on the set, like, all right, I'm gonna duct tape. Like, after I put the wire around your nipples, I'm gonna duct tape. But then there's one scene. I don't know if you've seen this behind the scenes, but she was a trained actress. So remember when I told you that trained actresses will go beyond Scream Queen? So this was such a trained actress.
Okay.
So she's tied on, like, the wooden X, like, horizontally. And I forgot what I said. I think it ended with, like, all over your body, like, to tell her, like, I could do whatever I want. I'm gonna put my hands all over your body. She just said no, and she started laughing.
Don't do it.
She's like, that's cheesy. Like, really? Like, yeah. So I listened to her.
Yeah.
Like, if your talent is laughing at you,
it's a good rule of thumb.
Yeah. Well, I think that was my first attempt at horror, Kill the Scream Queen. So, I didn't know these rules of horror because, a lot of people told me, like, you do not talk during a kill. And I think the only slasher villain who talks is, like, Freddy from Nightmare on Elm Street. But I don't know. I was just going by what I thought what people wanted. And that's when I learned about people who are from the fetish world. They would much rather see a fat girl with tight restraints that look like they're cutting off circulation and fear in her eyes. They'd much rather see a Tubalard than the hot girls in Kill the Scream Queen, because I made it look so, if girl wanted to get out, she could get out.
Yeah.
She could totally escape because she was not tightly, but even if she couldn't, like, this was the flimsiest wood that she was tied to. Like, she could just go, oh, fuck you, and crack herself off. But that pissed off the fetish people.
Really?
And then when I learned about, like, how they really need the knots to look like they're digging into this, so I called them Nazis. Get it? Nazis.
Correct.
But I just looked at it as, personally, like it was a kinky thing, but not really an S&M thing.
Yeah, like it's
Like
not like
very
you're
light.
yeah, it's not like you're
Yeah,
whipping them or pouring wax on them or whatever. You're just
right.
yeah, you're just tying them up and doing the
And
things.
the amount of fans, they wrote handwritten letters to me, snail mail,
Yeah,
of how it was good for their sex
really.
lives, like their girl. Like even the girls were turned on. Like, oh, I should make another movie like that.
Yeah, well, ladies are into some funky stuff.
But it was definitely like kinky in a safe way.
Yeah,
Because I don't think I will ever make a movie in which a girl is beaten or like if she's stabbed, it's like I don't think I even had that. It's but in neuroscience, or just basic psychology, we delved into serial killers. Um, I don't know how much of a tangent I want to go on, but American horror movies with serial killers just sanitize the movie of all sex. There's no rape or anything like that.
mm,
But over 85% of serial killers have sex with the victim, whether the victims are alive or dead. So they're sexual predators. But
yeah.
then there's a sexual sadist. And it's the kind of person who, I don't know if you've ever been rejected in high school years. Have you? That's a
I,
rhetorical question. We've all been
yeah,
rejected.
we've all been rejected. One of the tangents we were going off on earlier reminded me of like when I finally just got fed up of being awkward, and like I encountered a chick that I could not physically look at and talk at the same time. And after that, I was just roasting the shit out of myself for like the whole rest of the day. And I was like, okay, this is ending now. And yeah, I just practiced and figured it out afterwards. And since then, I have not felt nervous talking to hardly anybody.
Well, if you like hot girls, just kind of search for girls who are addicted to heroin, because at a certain point, they will do anything. I hope you know I'm joking. Well, it's true,
Yeah,
but it's a joke.
it can
But
be an accurate joke.
man, what was I talking about before?
Uh,
Oh, sexual sadists and
yes.
being rejected. So you've been rejected. We've all been rejected. Well, let's assume we've all been rejected. There are certain people who seethe in uh, vengeful anger,
Mm,
and so they want to hurt women. And so if you're in the hands of a serial killer who's a sexual sadist, it's going to be much worse.
yeah.
Um,
I think
so,
the correct psychological term for that is losers.
but there was a guy who I ridiculed this situation in my movie Indie Director, which I'm going to re-edit, but I'm going to rename it.
Mm,
But in Indie Director, there's this character based on someone in real life who sent me a letter. To make a long penis short, he wanted to give capital. He wanted to see what I could create with a lot more money.
okay.
And so I went to his office in New York City, New York Shitty, and he
Hmm.
wanted to sign me to a 3 movie contract. Um, he did not tell me that he's from the bondage world. You
Ah,
know, as far as his credentials, he said that he is a financial advisor. He can get a ton of people involved. He wanted to sign me to a 3 movie deal.
hmm,
I forgot what the original point was, but this might amuse you. I didn't
probably.
sign anything with him yet. Um, he wanted to throw a yacht party on the Hudson River,
Okay.
and so I arrived there, and so there were a lot of indications the whole way that this was not the deal I thought it was.
Hmm.
Um, but the 2 girls I thought were very friendly to me because they thought, hey, if I'm friendly to this guy, he's going to cast me in the movie. And I kept telling them like, that's the guy you should be friendly with
Hmm.
because it's his movie technically. I'm just the director.
Yeah.
Um, so we went on the yacht, and then the captain of the yacht, like this is how much I didn't know at the time. Like I thought if it's your yacht, you drive the yacht, right? Or pilot
Yeah.
the yacht. I don't know what the
Yeah.
word is.
Captain.
But no, he had to hire a captain, and the captain
Okay.
told me like, this always happens. This guy throws these parties, and only like a few people of the hundreds come. Girls just kept
Rude.
getting friendlier and friendlier.
Yeah.
I didn't know that they were prostitutes. He hired them to have sex with me, because that must be why he showed me the the cabins on the yacht. I thought he was just showing me like, hey, if you want to film here, you know, look at the rest of the yacht. And yeah, the girls were very
Forward.
insistent. Yeah, yeah, forward. That's a good word. And then at the end of the trip, they were close to beating up the millionaire. And the reason is they wanted to be paid. Like, it didn't matter that we didn't have sex. And that's when I learned. And I explained to him, like, listen, I think you have the wrong idea. Like, I'm not a one-night stand person. Although I've been drunk and been taken advantage of by fat women. They seem to know. They know. But
he's down.
But yeah, it's funny that I was blind to the whole thing the entire time. And part of me sometimes wonder, like, what if I said yes? But I always told myself, like, I have to wait until I'm decrepit or like much uglier, and maybe I'll consider, like an arrangement. Like the only time I had an arranged sexual encounter was with a girl who was on a radio station. I don't know how much of this story I should tell, but there was attraction. But she had a boyfriend and I had a girlfriend, and we hung out after we no longer had these significant others. We were both single, and one night during hanging out, she said, like, "Hey, let's just get a hotel." Like, really? Are you that tired? You can't go back? Like, no,
like, no, moron.
So she's explained the whole thing of, like, how long have we known each other? Like, let's just do it. And so it felt very strange. It also felt very strange because it was breaking the
professional
relationship.
Conduct. Yeah.
Well, we were friends, and it was breaking the friendship barrier. Like, that has happened, but usually it happened with like it wasn't an arrangement. It was like a natural event. And so it did feel odd, but I loved it. But I think I loved it because there were already the pre-attraction feelings. It wasn't just like, although I did, after a breakup, go out and see if I could be a one-night stand guy, and I could. Like, wow, really? All this time I could just do this? But that's not what I want. It's really not what I want.
After, like the first one or two might be exciting. Afterwards, they kind of lose their luster a bit.
Or just not what I'm into. Like, I'm into meaning.
Yeah, exactly.
Although,
like the initial spark might be like, oh, maybe this is like taboo, or might be like an ego thing, but no, they don't have any meaning to them. They're just a step above masturbation. It's not that big.
I guess that's a good way to that might be a good way to put it, because I made the movie Ass Monster, and I had a porn star in it, Gina Lynn. And I remember at a certain point she's like, "All right, so do I take my panties off?" I said, No. And then, I should have said, like, "All right, let's do the scene both ways." But at the time I had not shown clam. But also she had amazing contours, like just her upper thighs, just the G-string that she wore and the thigh highs really accented the curves. I didn't want to break that. But one thing that was strange is, when I saw pictures of her, I thought, she's attractive, but I'm not attracted to her. But when we filmed, she had the most seductive eyes. I don't know if she was doing it on purpose, but it made me ask her. I asked all these questions about porn, and I thought, because I was so fucking under her spell, I'm going to make a porno with her. Like, that's how much of an effect she had on me, because I thought, like, all right, so these are the rates, these are the rules, like, this is the way it's going to happen. Like, all right, well, no, we can make a porno. I don't have to show anybody because she just wants to get paid for the day. I'm like, oh, and
Well,
I seriously considered it because of how deeply under her spell I was. But then I broke out of it. I'm like, no, I can't do that. Can't do that. So that's one of the things that I always wonder because that I don't know if you would have been strong enough to resist.
I say, yeah, it's fucking hard. Like, yeah, there was an artist that I interviewed at some point. I think either at the beginning of this year or the end of last year, and she wound up coming to town not too long after that. And while she was here, she was actually sending me nudes of herself in the tub, and I was immediately just called up a buddy and was like, I just need 3 minutes of your voice to get this boner down, please.
I didn't know that.
Please, bro.
I didn't know that it was a common theme to say like if you've got like bathroom shyness, like if you're in a urinal and someone's next to you and you can't pee, like just do math. Do math in your head. But then there's this other trick, like to not get a boner, like think baseball. I didn't know that was a thing. And when I made the remake of Metalheads, there was this guy named Chaos, and the girl's name was Jackie. I don't know. Yeah, I'll just call her Jackie.
Okay.
But she liked fucking around with the males. She knew what she was doing, and so she put her hand on Chaos's leg. And he said that, after the fact, he just kept thinking like baseball. Yes.
Yeah.
But so I have not revisited that footage, but I'm going to I'm going to re-edit that movie at a certain point. It's just that if a movie's called Metalheads, right off the bat, there are going to be people who will not ever watch it. I remember when I was on a panel of directors in Toronto, Lloyd Kaufman from Troma was on that panel as well.
Nice.
But the moderator surprised me. He just asked, yeah, so tell me about Metalheads. And I had Metalheads movies that I wanted to give out. And I looked at him like, what the fuck can I say? Like, I don't know what to say about this. So the only thing that could come to mind was like, if you hate metal, after watching this movie, you will still hate metal. And because I didn't know what to say. And then I was trashed, by the way, on that panel. And I thought, like, I'm going to throw out some copies. But when I threw them out, I actually zinged them. Like,
like
people are like,
out eyes.
Oh, my God.
God damn it, Bill. What the fuck?
I am my own impediment to success. But in many ways, that was actually funny. And I think I hit myself just now a little harder than I meant to.
Oh, no.
So, yeah. But
not the 5-head.
The 5-head. The 8-head. Well, that's another thing about, making fun of forehead and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In any movie, if a person is ridiculed, if I'm in the movie, I'm also ridiculed.
Yeah.
So,
whatever.
And some of the jokes, like in Metalheads, are things that you see, like these are real things. Like, I was born in Eastern Europe, and when I arrived in America, I was raised as an Eastern European. Most of my friends, like, I couldn't speak English in the house until I was 18, and a lot of the childhood friends were also Eastern European, unless there were people on the block where I lived. But some of them were also Eastern European. So, although like Czech culture and Polish culture are not the same, they're similar enough compared to Americans. Forgot where I was going with this. Went on a tangent. Can't bring myself back.
Well, while you're figuring it out, director inflicts mass casualty event at film festival with assault DVDs. Film at 11. And we do have a question for you here in the chat.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, there are people who are actually. We have an audience right now. I guess we're live, so some people are watching, right?
Yeah, and I say we had 5 a second ago. Now there's 3, but
now there's 3.
So
there were 3.
Yeah. So one of the questions was, how do you balance audience demands for certain rules or portrayals versus your own creative vision?
I don't. Um,
Well, that was easy.
yes, I don't make movies for a target audience. So,
Yeah, you're just making stuff that you enjoy making, and if people like it, that is your audience now.
well, in the early years, I made at least 1 or 2 movies a year that were sensible. They followed what was called the 3-act structure, like even the movie Ass
Yeah.
Monster, even the movie Ant Farm Dickel, 3-act structure.
Mhm.
And so there's something to be said for the 3-act structure because those movies typically sell better. And then I strayed from the 3-act structure, and by straying from it, like let's say the 3-act structure is normal, without explaining what it is, your whole life you have been trained to expect a 3-act structure. So sometimes when movie strays from it, you're delighted, like in the movie Seven with Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
How many times have you jerked off to him, by the way? But anyway,
Me personally, 0.
I thought, I should, as an indie director, give you what Hollywood won't. So I can't make something as amazingly beautiful as a Hollywood film, but I can give you material that would never be given by Hollywood. And then I just strayed so far from that I even before this interview thought to myself, like, whatever happened to that? Like make 1 or 2 movies a year that are sensible and everything else do as experimental. I don't know why I stopped.
It's got ADHD or something and kind of wandered off.
Not ADHD, although that people often say, like, Bill's autistic or Bill has ADHD. I was introduced to a girlfriend of an indie director.
Yeah.
And she said, "You know what I do for a living, right?" I said, "What?" She's like, "I'm a psychologist."
Whoa.
And I think you have ADHD. And then she gave me the reasons, and I thought, I think your license should be revoked. I didn't say that. But I think, like, of all people, like someone with that low comprehension has a license.
Right.
So psychologists are like teachers. You shouldn't do it for a paycheck. Some people are very bad at the craft.
Can confirm. A buddy of mine is a therapist, and people like that just piss him the fuck off.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is for diagnosing people, you don't do it in 1 second.
No, of course not.
Or 1 minute. So, and also, like, when you're in the psychology field and learning, one of the admonitions that is given is do not diagnose yourself, because as you read about all these pathologies, you'll be like, that's me.
Right.
I guess
be like one of these
I guess
fucking high school kids out here thinking that he's schizophrenic or he's going to turn into the Joker or something. Goes to get diagnosed, and he just has depression.
Yeah. Well, also, there's a girl who she filmed under the name Elizabeth Bathory. I would have loved to film with her, but at the time, her boyfriend said that I had to apologize to him. He is the reason why I almost got jumped by 20 people at a show. Like, he started stuff in a chat room, in an AOL chat room.
I think I remember you talking about this in one of your Elden Ring streams.
Oh, really?
Was he one of the guys that was trying to like start shit with you and had you stomped out by a bunch of guys?
Well, he was in a wheelchair, and I guess part of him perceived an attraction she had for me, which we ended up.
You and your legs.
She had to break up with him in order for things to happen, because I've been a jealousy pawn many times. It's not fun. And yes, it often ends in violence. I beat up the girl. Like, how the fuck could... usually there's violence that's orchestrated by the boyfriend who doesn't know, like, oh, I'm not the boyfriend anymore. She didn't tell me. Anyway, I wish that I had filmed with her. She died recently.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, not as sorry as she is, but anyways, she and I did have on again, off again
Elizabeth
relationship.
Bathory, the Hungarian Duchess that bathed in virgin blood.
She's from Connecticut, but
But her family's from
anyway,
Hungary.
Hungary hippos.
Mm.
But anyway, I forgot why I brought her up.
AOL chat rooms, people wanting to beat you up.
Well, he started problems with a band, and the band was not metal; it was hardcore. And hardcore people do not fight one-on-one.
Of course,
they feel a brotherhood when like a bunch of them are attacking somebody. Whereas the way I was brought up, not brought up by my parents, but socially, it has to be one-on-one. And sometimes you have to pay for your mouth, which I have done. But yeah, again, I don't know why I brought her into it or where I brought him into it. But
so yeah, I got into a fight with this guy in the wheelchair and I got my ass whooped. I never saw this shit coming. You punched me in the cock and I buckled like a bitch.
Well, there was a phase in life in which the way I handle threats is I forced you to carry them out. And I don't know if it was because of her or because of something else, but he had illegal guns. Like in New Jersey, look, for example, I was going to not ask, but I wanted a gun license because I was withdrawing or depositing thousands of dollars. And someone said, like, "Oh, you should get a gun license." And when I went to the police department, they said, "We'd rather you ask us to escort you." Like, really? You could do that? I never really asked for that. Not ever really, but I never asked for it.
Fucking
and then I
VIP
realized that
over here.
VIP. But
then
I realized, like,
PP.
I would never shoot anyone unless it was by accident. So, like, why would I want a gun anyway? And then years later, I did have a home invasion, and I could have killed the guy.
Yeah.
But I remember one of the lawyers who was in the martial arts with me, he gave me a book called Martial Arts and the Trained Fighter.
Right.
And so there are things I learned, like, if a judge asks you, could you have run? Could you have walked away? If the answer is yes, you probably will go to jail. So I learned all these things. But again, as a person, like as Bill, as many fucked up things that I've done in life, I don't want to do any of the major bad things. Like, I don't want to kill anyone. And so after I disarmed the guy and he was in a hold that he did not like, I wondered, is this unlawful confinement?
Am I kidnapping this guy that broke into my house?
So I let him go. And I thought, well, the detectives will figure things out. And so they have his DNA from the blood. And then they have all sorts of footage in the street, and they still have not found him. And, DNA is like fingerprints, where they don't just do a search and like, I couldn't find anybody. All right.
You need a match.
Really, they still have not found him. But the way it works is that does not stop. So at any point, like if he goes on Ancestry.com, or if DNA is taken from whatever other crimes he
find it in a sperm bank or something.
But it's New Jersey, so like maybe he won't even get jail time.
Potentially.
But the super non-ego, mature part of me knows that ended well.
Yeah.
In that it's not my job to punish him. It's Yeah, I guess maybe it's good for him to get caught in case that's his thing, and he won't do it to other people, or maybe he will because he's a knucklehead. But
Well, if he's getting beaten by you and he had a gun, like
he had a knife.
okay, that's fair then. But yeah. Also, small
But
side tangent for you. How do you feel about flamethrowers?
well, I forgot to add that I had to make a super fast assessment of him.
Mm.
And so part of it was psychology, part of it was street smarts. But it wasn't like I just like, all right, time out. I have to figure out what's going on here.
Having that Sherlock Holmes bullet time moment.
But I made the correct assessment that he was using the knife to intimidate, not to actually stab. Because there have been home invasions in my city where people ended up dead.
No.
Yes.
Not in Jersey.
Yes.
Not in
and
kind
I made
Christian Jersey.
Not to brag, but I made the correct assessment. And so
that's good.
He, the resolution of the situation was just disarm him and go home. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Not waiting for him to come back.
But yeah, his DNA is still being searched. I guess auto searched. But I don't think that anything will come of it, even if he's arrested. The only thing I would like is if he is a dangerous person for him to be stopped. But would jail really do anything for him anyway? Like other than train him how to be a better criminal?
Yeah, probably. Getting a flashback to Family Guy where you got that one serial killer who's like, "What's this feel like?" Stabs himself. It's like, "Oh shit, this is what I've been doing to people."
I didn't see that, but that's funny. That's funny.
I belong here.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but I was going to make a Bill Cosby movie, and I was going to play Bill Cosby, and then one of the things that would happen. What was that?
But then they saw the makeup, and they're like, "Bill, come on, man."
Well, I just didn't have enough material. Just like Holocaust Cannibal, it came about like me being at a horror convention. I guess there was a tangent that I went on. I didn't come back, but I was drunk. Ultimately, I decided not to confront the people because their crime against the animal has been done. I don't think they've
the Cannibal Holocaust people.
Yeah, so their animal cruelty, I don't think they've ever done it again. But also, are they really going to listen to like a dirtbag looking guy saying like you should not do that to animals? But I was drunk, and because I was drunk, I refrained from approaching them because I was afraid that spontaneously, bam!
Lack of self-control in those moments. It's a thing. This is for that turtle, you son of a bitch.
but I said the name of the movie backwards. I said Holocaust Cannibal. And there was a laugh like Holocaust Cannibal. I thought, wait a minute. I can make a movie.
Yeah.
And I did. But I only made it after there was a reason to make it. Because I can't make a movie just like, oh, this is funny. I have the name of a movie, and that's all I have.
Yeah.
So I had to wait until, but it wasn't like I sat down and I like, oh, what do I do? This came to me over time. Yeah. So when I researched, like the jungle movies, I asked fans of those styles, like, what are the rules of the cannibal movie, blah, blah, blah. And they said, genital mutilation. So I thought, oh, and because there are Nazis being tortured, it'll be circumcision.
There you go.
Because, like, I remember as a kid, someone European said, "Oh, the way that they found out who is Jew is they made him take his pants down. Oh, you are circumcised. You are Jewish." So again, if you just tuned in, Holocaust
Holocaust
Cannibal
Cannibal.
is anti-Nazi. It's not
Yes.
anti-Jewish.
Exactly.
But so some of the things that are in the movie were me learning the rules of those styles of movies and then making them Beelzebub things.
Mm. Now we're gonna have Goodwin in chat being like, "But you said you didn't care about the rules."
Well, I don't care about rules.
You just like to know where the rules are so that you can do whatever you want anyway.
Yeah, but even within movies, I do observe rules. It's just that what you see is so crazy that you might think like Bill does whatever he wants. I do abide by rules, but with me researching the rules of the genre of was it Nazi exploitation or was it this? I learned what they were, and then I had fun within those rules. So again, in this movie, in this type of movie, you need genital mutilation. I will give you circumcision to torture the Nazi.
Yeah,
because the Nazis would be uncircumcised. Imagine if, like, all these SS officers are going, all right, we are going to party. We are going to now take shower so we smell good for the party. Not the socialist party, but, the party that we're going to have fun. Yes. And they shower like, oh, you are circumcised.
My God.
Like, yeah, but, that's a religion. It's not. Just imagine if that were a scene in the movie, but
I converted. I swear.
Man, the problem with tangents, I feel like I have early onset Alzheimer's because sometimes I can't come back. When we talk, I should just like have a pad and paper, like, all right, this is the point. Go off the point a little bit and then come back.
Hans, what is wrong with your penis? I'm not Jewish. I was born in America.
Maybe maybe one of your listeners or one of the people could say, like, you guys were talking about this, and then I don't know what happened to Bill.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what you were talking about.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, we got a couple other comments in there. So Jay Goodwin again being saying, I feel robbed of the race swapped Bill Cosby movie we've all been demanding.
Oh, yeah. So getting back to Bill Cosby. So one of the things that I thought would be funny is George Floyd comes over and he accidentally drinks one of Bill Cosby's cappuccinos. And then when he goes back out, he's like, I can't breathe. I don't know why. I think I thought of this because in Family Guy, there was the introduction to Bill Cosby. And I vaguely remember it was like the new introduction to Bill Cosby, knowing what we know now. And all the females are unconscious. You must have seen this. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
I had to look it up on YouTube. I'm like, I've got to see this, but I don't have that. I don't know which season of Family Guy it's in. And then on YouTube, I saw it because he's like doing his dance and all his facial expressions, and women have like these blank. They have these glasses meant for what's a drink with vodka and tonic or whatever. Shaken, not stirred. What is that?
Vodka martini.
Yeah. So the martini glass, and it's spilled over, and she's unconscious, and he's still dancing like. Did it. But I did not make the Bill Cosby movie because I did not have enough material to it. So I don't make a movie just on one joke. Or maybe my joke is funny only one time. Man, I sat through 90 minutes and I only laughed once. That's why I'm glad that you laughed for the Jesus was an asshole.
Yeah. Like pretty much every movie I've seen of yours, like even if I'm kind of like half invested in something like Holocaust Cannibal, where there's a lot of repeated shots where everything's in super slow-mo, I can just watch that while I'm dicking around on my phone or something. But there are scenes in a lot of your movies that will have me dying laughing, and that wait is often well worth it, at least in my opinion.
Well, thank you for that. But you are not generalizable to the population of
No,
human
I am.
beings.
I am. I am a universal misfit and an exception to literally every fucking rule. So, just because I enjoy it, don't expect that you guys will.
You know, as I'm licking my dry lips, I was thinking, I don't think I've used chapstick since I was a kid.
Hmm.
And I only used it because I was told, like, you should use this.
Right?
And so instead of chapstick, I use lipstick, which gets me into fights sometimes, but
Yeah.
at least
Be a
my
little.
lips are moist.
It's a little Buffalo Billy, but okay.
um, d- Someone said that no disease lasts 100 years, and I think it was referring to communism. So communism would fall, and
Okay.
then it's not my observation, but someone said that like the news headlines when they're like headlines that you would read in the Onion, but they're true. So I said I'm not political,
Mm.
but when I started seeing things about like men could menstruate, men could get pregnant, things like this, I thought, what's really going on here? Like, why are politicians arguing about this stuff? And like
Yeah.
Tampon Tim, like that Tim guy who
Yeah. I was just thinking about a recent story in the news where some potential like senator or somebody running for the Senate is claiming that he gets a period, like this is a man dressed up as a woman, but he claims that he gets a period on a monthly basis where he's just shitting blood. And like, you have another problem, sir.
yeah, well, I think I've read the same or seen the same story, but
Mm.
I don't really care. And I wonder how many of these people have pathologies. And I don't mean like, years ago, homosexuality was in a diagnostic manual, like it was a
Yeah.
mental illness.
Yeah, yeah. I,
um,
I say one of the first psychology textbooks I ever read still included it as an illness, and that was from like
yeah. So,
the 80s.
so with the, you know, problem of men not feeling that they're male and things like that,
Mm.
like that's not really something to ridicule. But what can be ridiculed is how it landed into politics, because
Mm.
in that case,
Absolutely.
it is silly. But if I may tell you a story, there was a man who thought that part of his leg was not his,
Mm.
and he wanted to saw it off.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
one
I
day,
actually know this story. He
okay, so you tell the story.
so so yeah, he felt like a degree of body dysmorphia where his one of his legs from the knee down he felt shouldn't be there. So he tried forever to get it taken off, properly, but couldn't get any doctor to agree with it. So he put his foot in dry ice until it started to rot and then went to the hospital and had it removed. And ever since then, he's just been happy as a clam.
Yeah, so things like this should not be in politics, and it should definitely not be in like talk show circles and things like that. Like
Well, it's such a rare thing, but people are bringing it up like it's not. And that makes, like you said earlier, that makes people who would like see X, Y, or Z symptoms and think, "Oh my God, that's my experience," and then go fuck themselves up for the rest of their lives by getting on puberty blockers and shit.
yeah, well, that's not my realm of expertise.
Yeah.
You I guess in this whatever we're doing,
Mm.
people could read a book called Phantoms in the Brain, and it's by V.S. Ramachandran. There's also The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat.
Huh.
Some of the things we have discovered is because of brain injuries. So
Yeah.
like someone suddenly thinking that his parents have been replaced by imposters. Everything about them is the same, but there's just no connection. So make of that what you will. But I remember I got into an argument with Ruby LaRocca or Ruby LaRocca. Well, not argument, but she was upset because of something I said at a horror convention. Um, she had her booth. She came over to mine while I was talking to someone, and he learned about something called paraphilias. And then I said something about homosexuality is a mistake in the brain, but she did not let me finish, and she was pissed. Oh man! But what I said is, earlier we said in the diagnostic manual, homosexuality was a mental illness.
Yeah.
Now, when I said mistake in the brain, I wanted to say it's harmless, just like being left-handed is
it's no big deal.
pathological. Like we're not meant to be left-handed, so it's a mistake in the brain. And now I remember. Let's go back to mutation after this.
Okay.
So, a mistake in the brain, like homosexuality, being attracted to the same gender, it's harmless, but it's a mistake in the brain. A mistake in the brain that is harmful is pedophilia, being attracted to children or eroticizing children. And when I make the movie Dicknocchio, it's about a pedophile who's he wants Dicknocchio to be a real boy. Like that was the beginning of it, So remember, and so the movie will begin with Geppetto. That's his name. He's going to be called a pedophile to ridicule him,
of course.
But he has to register as a sex offender, and he makes Dicknocchio.
Okay.
To satisfy. So it comes back from what I learned about pedophiles. There are some pedophiles who do not act on their attraction. They still have the attraction, but they know that it will hurt the child.
Yeah.
And so, with Dicknocchio, someone says, like, don't call it Dicknocchio. People think it's a porn parody. I said, you're right. I'll call it Pedophile. And the tagline is, it's a kid-friendly movie. But so that's in development. So
fun.
So it's not the made to shock. It's part of it is made to teach you some things, but it's not what you think it is. And I am actively working on Dicknocchio, as well as 12 other movies, but with mutations.
Yeah.
When I talked about, sorry, I'm a little dry.
No worries.
I've got water with me. I've also got water in my pants. But
oh no, Bill forgot his diaper.
Yeah, man, you'd think I'd remember something like that,
right?
But I compare me straying from the 3-act structure to mutations, because in nature, mutations often are detrimental. Every once in a while, there's something beneficial in a mutation. And I realized that my movies are like that because most of them that stray from the 3-act structure are commercially failures. Or it could not be the mutation. It could just be like, it's Beelzebub movie, so of course it's going to fail. Can I drink with this, whatever the brand is being visible on camera?
Yeah, you can drink. You can do whatever the hell you want. I don't give a shit.
Okay, well, I just don't want you to get in trouble. Like, this movie is not sponsored.
Nah, it's no big deal.
That hit the spot. The G spot. Oh, that should be a saying in the movie.
It's in your throat. Nice.
By the way, I bought a movie. Yeah. It's a French movie called Ridicule. And the reason I bought it, I have not seen it yet.
Okay.
But there was a character in the trailer who said something about puns being the lowest form of humor. I thought, man, I make a lot of puns. Like getting back to the Bill Cosby movie, in which I'll be in blackface. Or maybe I can make it with not blackface, but I think it would be funnier in blackface. I interviewed Peter Steele from Typo Negative. Do you know who that guy is?
I do.
All right, so he made a lot of puns. And maybe by the end of the year or early spring, there's going to be a re-release of my movie, Dirtbags. And the reason for the re-release is there are going to be 2 Peter Steele interviews, uncensored or uncut. So you see the behavior as we're doing the interviews.
Hmm.
But he called me Martin Luther King Kong.
Yeah, you mentioned that in another one of your Elden Ring streams.
Yeah, so I thought it'd be funny to have Martin Luther King Kong climb the Empire State Building. Um, but it's not something that I came up with, but Peter Steele and I both have or had that kind of humor. Could you just imagine Martin Luther King Kong?
Gets to the top and just proclaims loudly, "I have a dream."
Yeah. I made fun of that. I think it was in Rap Sucks, because I discovered that Martin Luther did not write that movie. It was a white guy who wrote that. I'm sorry, wrote that script. Or
Really?
not
That
script,
speech?
Wrote
Yeah.
the speech, yeah. Yeah, you're saying that you had a dream, but somebody
Fucking
else had a dream.
poser.
But yeah, so many
here's
speeches are
a
not written by the person who spoke them.
here's a movie suggestion for you: Martin Luther King Kong versus Mecca segregation.
I don't feel it.
Okay. Sorry, Jay. Maybe next time.
Oh, somebody in the chat wrote that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mean
my
to.
idea.
I don't mean to disparage what you wrote, but another thing is I make movies that I have written,
Mm.
and
It's like the Hideo Kojima of movies.
well, it's not to say that I would not direct a movie that someone else wrote, but I was at a horror convention flashback, and there was this guy who bought several of my movies, and then after the convention, I was roaming the hotel because Charles Band had a movie that was playing, and I wanted to sit in the audience for a bit.
Yeah.
And I passed by this group of people, and this dude who bought my movies was there, and was like, "Oh, can I just trouble you for a second?" Sure. What? Oh, well, I've got this movie idea, and I stopped him right there. It's like, what? I can't hear it. It's like, why can't you hear it? It's like, well, let's just put it this way. You can't send your script unsolicited to somebody. And the reason why you can't do that is if that person ever makes a movie, you'll say, like, oh, they stole my idea. So, so that's one of the reasons. But I just told them I only make movies that I have written. It would be different if someone awarded me a budget, so like, hey, can you make Poopy Pants Part 2?
Right.
Yeah, I could do that. But this guy would not let it go. And I said, I won't listen to it. And as he started explaining to it, I put my fingers in my ears, like, la, 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 la. It's like, come on, dude. And I'm like, I will only make my own movie. And he said, well, if you give me $20,000, I'll listen to you, and I might make your movie. It's like, I don't have 20,000. Well, I can't hear it.
Yeah,
it's like, well,
fuck off.
No,
grow up. Yeah,
he would not.
Just read the fucking room. If they're not interested, don't pursue it. It's that easy.
Right. And I also told him, if you're looking for an opinion, you're asking the wrong guy, because my opinion will probably be the worst opinion for you. Tell somebody else. And so he would not let it go, and I left him, and the whole crowd laughed. However, he saw who I was hanging out with, and he tormented that guy. Like, you got to tell Bill. Like, I think
fuck
Bill
off, dude.
Yeah, he would not fuck off. So
some people.
Anyway, in that horror convention, I saw a little bit of the Charles Band movie and decided I'm going to buy this movie, so I don't want to watch it here. And plus, I'm at a horror convention, so I want to do horror convention stuff. And these three girls came up to me. I don't know how we started talking, but they wanted to be in a movie. And I said, well, you could be extras. So they will be extras. I don't know if they're going to be extras in Grammar Nazi or Stabbed in the End.
So this was a recent convention.
Yes. So nice. Please stop me if I'm not being entertaining. Like, Bill, I'm starting to fall asleep. But
you're fine.
But anyway,
Though,
The
like,
good.
how to say, we have gone a little bit over the usual amount of time, but if you want to keep chatting, I would have absolutely no problem with it.
All right. Well, at least let me finish this story.
Of course.
These girls were a lot of fun, and
Nice.
I don't mean like we had sex, they're pregnant kind of fun.
I know what you're talking about.
But they did wear mini skirts.
Awesome.
And I guess that dude and his friend came over. Oh God. So the girls asked, where can we get liquor? And the guy said, well, I got liquor in my room.
Bro.
All right, so
off.
yeah, so this is funny.
Yeah.
I pulled one of the girls aside. I said, like, look, he's not with me. I don't know him. And she's like, oh, I don't care. I just want free liquor.
Mm.
And so I said, well, I didn't really want to hang out with him, but I'll accompany you just to make sure you're safe. And she's like, dude. So she told me there's an app that's a tracker.
Okay.
So everybody who I guess she shares, like, this is where I am. So everybody on the app knows exactly her whereabouts and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I told her, like, well, I guess something's going to happen with that guy because my friend and I are going to come in. My friend is a corrections officer.
Nice.
All right.
Just give me an excuse, motherfucker.
So, he expressed concern, the corrections officer.
Yeah.
But we went into that hotel room and we saw all this beer and liquor and stuff like that. I'm like, all right, great. And then one of the girls said, like, she works at one of these haunted things.
Gotcha.
And she wanted to rearrange the room. And so I told my friend, like, let me go in my hotel room. I'll get a camera.
Okay.
Man, by the time I came back, that room was completely transformed. I did not recognize it. Like, there were, like, I don't know how they got the hotel lights, the hotel room lights to be red, but it was unrecognizable. And my friend pulled me aside, said, like, dude, these girls are nuts. Or they're acting like they're nuts. And they acted like they were possessed by demons. I was amazed. I was so amazed I didn't turn my camera on. And they started screaming. All of a sudden, bang, 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 hotel security. So they said, one more complaint, we're out. Because everyone around complained. Like, it was late.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm giving this story justice, but what's hilarious is that dude who wanted to tell me about his script thought he was going to bang.
Okay, buddy.
Right? So it's obvious that was not going to happen, but they destroyed the room. Right?
So they left him with the bill.
Well, when we returned to the courtyard of the hotel and just, like, we're drinking, because they had, like, all these airplane bottles full of liquor. So they had what they wanted from him. And he and his friend were looking at each other because, like, they destroyed the room. There's no way they're not going to pay damages.
Right.
Yeah, I guess the funny part of the story is in my head, and there are things that I cannot tell about the story. But I remember that the next day at the horror convention, they the dude passed by, and he looked miserable.
Good.
Did not look at my table once because he said, like, what kind of deal can you give me for the rest of your movies? I'm like, but those girls and my friend and I had a huge amount of fun afterward, but those two other guys did not. Man, there are things that I think I should say, but I won't. Maybe I'm re-editing a memoir.
Yeah.
It might be in the memoir. But those girls were so good at what they did that I was afraid of them.
It's pretty impressive.
Water everywhere.
No.
Man, I'm sorry that this story wasn't funny.
Oh
There
no,
are
you're
things that I
fine.
just cannot share. But
No, I completely understand. There's absolutely no pressure. Again, the fact that you're here at all is more than enough for at least me. I genuinely appreciate you coming by.
well, I appreciate you having me. By the way,
Yeah, it's been a
any
blast.
answer that I gave to one of the people in the chats, I didn't mean to sound like an asshole. But
Oh
like
no, no.
with the breaking
You,
rules that
no, this is okay. This is a buddy of mine. His name's Jay Goodwin. He is a complete prick. Don't worry about him.
uh, did I give a good answer? I didn't mean to evade. I will not
It's
evade
fine.
any question.
No,
But
you're
I
fine.
really don't. I don't think
Uh,
of boundaries
yeah,
other
uh,
than like you should observe the boundary.
of course.
Like I haven't done penetration. Oh no, I did in Santa Claus Serial Rapist. There was a scene in what you haven't seen it, right?
No, no, yeah. I don't think you've released it yet.
Santa Claus Serial Rapist was released, but
Huh.
the upcoming The Gods Are Rapists, the Blu-ray will
Ah,
have it. The streaming version will not have this.
gotcha.
A knife goes into a vagina,
Wow. Jay
and
Goodwin here saying Bill merely embraces the prick.
the the well, the reason for this is the girl who played that part sent me video of a knife going into her vagina. No
with
context.
with the sheath? I fucking hope.
The blade,
God damn,
the
dude.
knife went in.
Oh no.
And she said that she was watching some kind of documentary or something on sword swallowing, and she took it a step further.
You know how fucking small the average vagina is on the inside? It's like a deck of cards.
Well, I think she said that she can't feel if she got cut, so she would take the blade and look at it if there's blood on it. And the reason for that being in the movie, I have to give the reason, is like a rule in Greek myth is if a god has sex with you, you become pregnant.
Yeah.
That's just a rule in mythology. And so there was a character who wanted to get rid of her baby after being raped by a god.
Mm.
And so instead of using a wire hanger,
Okay. I get where you're going.
and so that's an upcoming scene that I have to re-edit. I think I'm going to get to it Wednesday or Thursday.
Okay.
I don't know if I will use it, but that's something you would like to see, right?
I don't know if I'd say I would like to see something like that, but I wouldn't be beyond it.
But she didn't get hurt, and it's because of that scene that Santa Claus Serial Rapist on Amazon was rated X.
Gotcha.
I'm thinking it was not rated.
Mm.
That's another thing that's good about America in that you do not have to be rated if you don't want to.
Yeah.
However, in Canada, each province has to do something similar to rating.
Yeah.
And you have to pay for that.
Yeah. Real quick, we got two more comments from
Sure,
Goodwin.
sure.
So it says Zeus impregnates a girl by appearing to her as a glittering shower of gold. Sadly, R. Kelly misunderstood this story.
I don't know anything about R. Kelly.
He pissed
You
on
have
an
to
underage
tell me.
girl.
Oh, golden shower.
Yeah.
Really?
And earlier, yeah, there was this whole controversy like 20 years ago. But
By the way, who is R. Kelly?
he was some stupid singer or rapper, so naturally you would never hear of him.
I was thinking like from the black and white days, but it was just black days. It was a rapper.
Yeah. And his other comment earlier was Mugridge's Law. There is nothing you can imagine, no matter how ludicrous, that will not promptly be enacted before your very eyes, probably by somebody well known.
I did not know this.
Yeah.
fucking Semele, the mother of Dionysus, who was impregnated by Zeus, tricked Semele. She said that Zeus is a liar, and so his form is a lie. As she tricked Semele into Zeus showing her his true form. No mortal could withstand such a thing. So she was destroyed. And I did have a scene in Santa Claus Serial Rapist that was like that. Show me who you really are, and then dead. Now I forgot where I was going with this. I'm really not smart. Not smart at all. But
now you just memorized a bunch of stuff, it seems.
Yeah, so that's another thing in the re-edit. I realized that I was info dumping. Because there were some concepts that were for more plots, like subplots. But as I looked at the footage, I was like, it just looks like people are like, this is how smart I am. Look at what I know. So I removed it. Totally removed it. Plus, average people are just going to think, like, these are just fucking characters are talking. Like, stop talking.
Well, some people, like, you can't get enough of it in other movies that you've already filmed. But people are insatiable for fucking naked chicks. It's wild.
Another thing that I removed was I did not go to film school. Can you believe it?
My God, he's a savant.
But I loved whether it was television or movies that I saw on TV. And there's a lot of bad stuff that I picked up just, from watching. Yeah. And one of the things I picked up was exposition. And an example of that is in Game of Thrones. Did you like Game of Thrones?
Nah, not really. I didn't start watching it until I was talking with somebody working on it.
So I liked it because there were boobs. But
well, when I was first watching it, I was in the separations from the Navy, and there's nothing more awkward than watching Game of Thrones and a sex scene pops up with 60 other guys around you. So that shit got weird real quick, and I was like, I'm out.
Feel a lot of splashing.
Yes, the splash zone was everywhere.
I'd like to say that I enjoyed Game of Thrones because I also like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that.
Nerd.
But sorry if you thought I was cool, I'm not.
Well,
but around the fourth season, there was a scene in which there's the sun.
They say you should never meet your heroes.
Or you should never meet your heroes. Man, the joke was funny in my head. It's not funny when I said it. But
you should never eat a gyro.
The son was told by his father, as you know, that sword you were looking at is blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Exposition. So if your father, if you're looking at a sword, you know what the fuck it is.
Right.
You get in the house. You know what it is.
If somebody shows you Excalibur, you don't be like, behold, I will kill you with Excalibur. Just show them being fucking terrified.
But, the explanation that the father gave, as you know, I did a lot. And in fact, that's one of the lines that is told many times from one character to another in Santa Claus Serial Rapist. As you know, so even as late as Santa Claus Serial Rapist, I had exposition. So it's stuff that's told from one character to another that's really just meant for the audience. Like, audience, this is information I would like to give to you. Otherwise, this does not make sense.
Or as Jay puts it, as you know, is the red warning light that you need to delete whatever follows.
I've been deleting everything that follows, as you know.
Yeah.
And it's difficult.
Or you could
some
throw
people
in
do it
like
well.
You could throw in like a creative twist where that grammar Nazi is going around stabbing everybody that does that.
Um,
I
but
will
I've been
cut.
steadfastly trying to remove
Mm,
all instances of dialogue that is meant just to inform the audience rather than things that two people would say to each other.
yeah.
As you know, I am Beelzebub from.
Mm,
Oh, that was not a good example.
well,
Also, an example of how I am a bad writer. But I'm trying to
or
improve. Trying to
yeah,
improve.
and that's all that matters.
Yes, that is all
Yeah.
that matters.
Yeah. Well,
But
real
that's
quick,
another
if
thing. We're early on, people
hmm,
who defended me from critics and stuff like that. They said, "Do you know how hard it is to make a movie?" And I don't like being defended that way
yeah,
because as hard as it's made a movie as it is to make a movie, some things are
yeah,
just bad,
yeah, just defend things based
including
on
my
its
stuff.
quality or whether or not you liked it.
Yeah,
But
that doesn't mean like, oh, let me make this bad movie because you know how hard it is to make one.
right, I've been watching paint dry for 48 hours.
Do you know
It's
how
fucking hard
hard it is to make paint dry?
to not blink that whole time. My camera's
Yeah.
overheating. Or he filmed it
Uh,
on IMAX, so he can only film for 3 minutes at a time. It's
you
super avant-garde.
maybe newcomers to this. Well, you'll probably have more viewers after this comes out, but
Yeah, probably.
live, don't be afraid to insult me.
No.
I think people when I stream Elden Ring are afraid to insult me, even though other people are constantly insulting me in the stream. But yeah, go ahead. Like, give an example. Like, insult me. Give
Well,
me an insulting
okay,
question.
straight from. Okay, you want an insulting question. What
Or just
motivates you to
insult me.
keep?
Or just
Yeah,
insult me.
okay, what motivates you to keep making shitty movies?
Well, when I lost everything, this really is an answer.
Okay.
When I lost everything, the question that was plaguing me was, how do I finish this movie? So there's something about it that's just part of me. I love doing it.
Mm.
And um, some people have asked, why do you keep, well, you just asked,
Yeah,
why do you
I
keep
was
making crappy
there.
movies? Why do you keep making crappy movies? Well, I would quit if everyone hated them. Like, I would still make them, but maybe just privately watch them or
Yeah.
pass them along to friends. But there are people who like them.
Mm.
And as long as there are people who like them, maybe I'll keep releasing them as movies that you can buy. By the way, there was a lawyer. One of the times I was in jail, I wanted to sue the police.
Okay.
He said, how can you fucking not know how to deal with a diabetic prisoner? Oh,
Which
you're
is a
okay. You're
yeah.
still conscious.
For now.
You're fine. You're still conscious. I wanted to sue.
Yeah.
And
Complications arise quick.
part of the reason why I tolerated being mistreated this way, like not getting my fucking insulin. I'm sorry if I'm blowing out your
You're
red
fine.
line. I don't know if I'm distorting when I do that. But I did want to sue. And a friend knew a lawyer. I didn't know anything about law, much like I don't know anything about making movies, but there are branches.
Yeah.
So there are certain types of lawyers you do not ask about your case. Well, this lawyer said you can't sue for pain and suffering, can't sue for this, can't sue for that. But I could have sued. Other lawyers later on in life told me I could have made a lot of money.
Yeah.
But this douchebag lawyer who I wanted to hire because he was a friend of this person. Well, she was actually in a couple of movies. Well, anyway.
Yeah.
One time at
Carry
a
on.
bar, I told him, hey, so this was after I dropped the charges, or not charges, but dropped the case.
Yeah.
There was a notice of claim, but we never submitted a claim because he's a fucking stupid lawyer. But we were both drinking at a bar, and I said, hey, did you know that the people who review my movies make us smile, because most people give my movies either the best or the worst. So if you say like 1 out of 5 or 5 out of 5, if you were to make a graph, it makes it makes a frown. There's some way that I phrase the question that it makes a frown.
Yeah.
Do I know how to tell a story or what? Do I know how to tell a story? I don't know how to tell a story. So anyway,
you can ad lib with the best of them.
So I told this lawyer, and I showed it on paper. It makes a frown.
Yeah.
And he said, "Well, just turn it upside down." What do you mean turn it upside down?
You can't turn the ratings around. Okay.
So he tried to make it look like, are you that fucking stupid? You are. You are that stupid. Like that doesn't change what the statistics are, or what the data. That does not change the data.
Yep.
And he looked at me like I was stupid. I'm telling the story wrong. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
But man, I might have made a little bit more money. The problem is, I would have spent all of it on movies. Not buying movies, but like making more terrible movies that. Never mind. Did you understand anything of what I just said? I don't think I understood what I just said.
I think I understood vaguely where you were going for. That basically it's just the process of making them that you have a genuine passion for, and that irrelevant of whether you're making money or not, it's what you want to do, and so you're going to keep doing it.
Water shouldn't smell, right?
No, it shouldn't. You got some weird water, dude. Is that why you're getting weird? You've poisoned yourself real quick.
I think maybe I'm getting weird because I'm just very hungry. But
okay.
Yeah, we've been talking for a while. Like, who the hell has stayed here this whole time?
Well, let's say Goodwin's been here for a good long while. But yeah, we're if you count the chat we had before the stream, yeah, we're going on 3 hours. So yeah, we should definitely get you out of here and get you some food.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Is there anything? I don't know. What do you want? First beer's over.
Man, I hope the restaurant isn't closed.
Yeah, it's a little after 9 over your place now.
What a great way to spend time. Well, I hope somebody out there was entertained by what I said during this conversation.
And even if they weren't, like, fuck it. Like, the same reason you make movies is the same reason I do these streams and stuff. I don't give a shit about numbers or views or likes or clout or connections or anything like that. The fact that I got to do this at all means I have already won. So again, thank you very much for giving me another win on my belt.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me here. I remember feeling a certain way when I was a stream only on my radio station. And the guy who hired me said, "Really? You're looking at the numbers of your live stream?" Because I'm thinking like 100,000 people.
Yeah.
Right.
Fucking 5.
And no, it's not that low. But it wasn't. It wasn't 100,000.
Yeah.
I thought, man, this might change things. I might do stranger things. No. Look at the archive numbers. And when I looked at the archive numbers, like, I was blown away. So maybe that's what happens with your stream. That live 6 people, but that was not me on the radio. But something happens. Like, I don't know what it is. It's very weird that over time things get better. Like Dick Nokia.
Yeah.
Right? You like Dick Nokia.
I haven't seen it yet. I thought that it was one that you were presently working on.
No. Oh! Dick Nokia. Dick NATO. That's what
Dick NATO, yes. Dick NATO was awesome.
So you like Dick NATO?
It made me laugh. The bits that actually focus on the the Dick NATO and your attempts to solve it, I found were pretty entertaining. I really enjoyed the conversation that you had with the actress in the very first scene. The the bits that you spliced in where a dude just has a chick, kidnapped and is assaulting her in every scene, didn't really care for, but it's not a big deal to me.
Okay. Well, Dick NATO is selling briskly.
Nice.
Like, sold out almost immediately. I thought, why?
Well,
Dick
one
NATO,
of the
go ahead.
I've seen it pop up on Twitter a few times. Like there was a physical media
Really?
post. Yeah, there was a post I saw from it's just an account that posts about physical media, and they showed Dick NATO, and they're normally they'll give a review or something or a rating. This one just said this may be the dumbest fucking movie to ever make it onto Blu-ray.
Okay. Well, Dick NATO originally, the original Dick NATO was 3 hours. I don't recommend that. But there was a clamor for a re-edit, and I had a Kickstarter for it, and it was funded. And I re-edited Dick NATO, not really thinking anything great would happen, is what I mean to say.
Mm.
So it was really something that I thought was just a re-edit for fans of Dick. I have so many Dick movies. It's
you do.
Dick NATO. Almost sold out very quickly. And it's weird because I looked at Amazon and the reviews are 1 out of 5. Like almost all of the reviews are 1 out of 5. And they're calling it junk NATO. Do not watch.
Yeah.
And I thought, is it because you think they're dicks? Because I remember when I made Dick Shark, there were some homosexual reviewers. I'm not saying that as an insult.
Yeah,
there were some reviewers who are homosexual who thought it was just like dick heaven for them. And it wasn't. In fact, it's a very heterosexual movie.
You promised me penis, and all I got was vagina.
Well, it's strange because how could the reviews be so bad, but the sales be so good? In fact, there's some merchants who say like this is the breaking records for them.
Yeah, I say some people might claim like false advertising, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, so when you saw Dick NATO, you've already seen something else, right?
Yeah, the first one I saw was Jesus Was an Asshole.
Yeah.
Dick
so
NATO
I wonder
was
why
second.
Why do people hate it so much, yet it's selling well? It's not like it's sold well and like, oh, we're all sorry we saw it, but the sales are going up.
Yeah,
like
Jay in chat. Jay in chat saying, "I was promised an ocean of dicks. If you can't trust Bill Zebub, who can you trust?"
Right, so why do you think it's selling well? Because it must be selling well by word of mouth. Well, that's probably it.
Okay. Well, I saw the cover art in that one post, and as I said, I just said sold. I'm fucking ridiculous. Yeah, I'm absurd like that. Some of the dumbest shit I've ever like. If it's unusual or interesting in any way, shape, or form, I'll probably check it out. Like, I don't know. There's some stupid video game I was recently playing called Super Adventure Hand. It's
Adventure Hand?
Yeah. Where it starts out, you're just a hand with a forearm walking through the woods, as you do, and a couple of feet come by, beat the shit out of you, and steal your forearm. And the whole game is you trying to get that forearm back. It's basically just like a shitty game of Mario, like 3D, and you're just playing as a hand that can grab and flick stuff. That's it. It's just goofy. I was like, done. Let's fucking go.
Right. So I have a question for you. I've always believed that in an area with shitty people, there are exceptions. So light the beacons and find the cool people in the shitty areas. And I don't mean to say that the Northwest is shitty, but the Northwest seems to have a very strong political feeling to it.
You're not wrong.
And so, could you tell me about that and why you are an exception to the indoctrination? And
Because
and
I
I mean to
have
say that the indoctrination could be far right, which is not cool.
yeah,
But you
yeah,
seem to be
no,
in a
I
far left area.
well, I just because I live in a far left area doesn't mean that I'm going to be like that. And no, I just tend to stick to my own thoughts and opinions, and if people disagree or whatever, that's fine. Uh, no, I just use my head
But are
and
you are
try to.
are, are you punished for liking certain entertainment? That's what I mean to say.
What do you mean by punished? Like ostracized in any way, shape, or
Ostracized.
form?
Yep. Yep.
Because yeah, like if normally I have a pretty good like feel when it comes to people and their characters. So if I get a certain vibe, like, oh, this person would be, a really far leftist or whatever, uh, they or be like overly sensitive, I just wouldn't bring it up. But
So you have to
no,
be quiet.
well, I don't have to be quiet. I just kind of cater what I say to like I'm not going to say anything that I know is going to get an inflammatory response out of people.
It's really weird how things are but I wonder if things were always this way and it just
Well, the internet has given people the opportunity to connect with any like-minded individual, no matter how extreme, and that's where I think a lot of this shit comes from. Like furries weren't a thing before the internet.
that's why I'm making sleepaway concentration camp.
Ooh,
It's
nice.
yeah, it's what is it? There are dating sites for like Christian singles, J date, stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
So in the movie, there's a dating site for white supremacists, and
yeah.
but
somewhere in Florida right now, Vex Electronica just smiled.
but it's but it's a honey trap. It's a honey trap. So all who enter are going to be killed, and so it looks like whatever white supremacists um, they think that they're hooked up with a match, but all the women in the movie for the white I'm not really sure if there's going to be a white supremacist girl,
All right.
but so far the characters are males. I'm still developing the script,
Yeah,
and
I didn't know you
um,
worked for Marvel.
I don't. What do you mean?
Because Marvel is constantly putting out commercials for stuff that they haven't finished yet.
Oh no, I'm not putting out a commercial, but I'm developing it, and people are dying to be in the movie. They're also going to die if they're in the movie. But
Nice.
the girls who are dating the white supremacist men in the movie are started trying to figure out why white supremacists are the way they are,
Mm.
and you would think that there's some redemption offered, you know, um, and everyone has to die because there's a joke question in neuroscience: who is the real Mel Gibson? Is he the anti-Semite, or is he the guy who's upset? He's very sorry about what he said.
Mm.
And the answer is he's both.
Yeah.
So the reason why the white supremacists are to be killed, no matter how contrite they are, or maybe they change their mind, like maybe I've been wrong,
Mm.
is part of them is still the white supremacist. So they have to go. And the reason for finding out why they are the way they are is develop methods of how to root them out. This
Mm.
person might be cool, but there are indications he's not.
Yeah.
And so
Mm.
that's sort of my hidden message of Antifa, and Antifa type people are also to be killed. They're not in the movie, but they're also assholes. It's like,
Yeah.
how can you be anti-fascist by acting fascist?
Right. Why are you acting like a fucking terrorist if you know why are you doing X, Y, or Z if you find A, B, and C acceptable like that? Maybe that was a poor way to describe it, but yeah, I think I know where you're coming from.
Yeah, so I'm not, unlike other movies that I've made, I'm not clubbing somebody over the head with that message. But
Mm.
that's sort of Because I think most people who watch it are gonna think like, yeah, everyone has comeuppance, except for Antifa. I'm still working on it. But how do you feel? Like, do you think that the Northwest is going to destroy me if this movie ever gets out?
I don't think 99.999, however many is, or most people aren't going to know about it. So it's not going to be that big of a deal. If you
yeah,
come
the
out
only reason I'm not killed is because people don't know.
Yeah. International Man of Mystery, Bill Zebub. But maybe if you came to like a movie convention or something, that might piss a few people off. But at least if you went to a convention over here, but I think you should be fine.
Yeah, one of my fans told me that if I ever showed up in his town, I'd be run out of town. And this is like white Baptist type of people.
Yeah.
So that's upsetting. But because I really don't want to anger people, because I think that the movies that I make have enough warnings on that. So if you're a certain personality, you're going to be pissed off if you watch it. So don't watch it.
Exactly. But why would you actively pursue information that's going to upset you? That's just dumb.
Yeah, but I just realized after I told you that, like, why the fuck am I working on 12 movies at once?
That's a great question. And maybe you should figure that out over dinner.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you for having me here.
Yep.
I guess the more I talk, the more I'm just digging a hole for myself.
Yeah, no worries. Again, you're more than welcome to come back anytime. Like, I still have a number of questions we could go on about, but I don't want to take up any more of your time, especially if you're hungry. So, yeah, I have your channel and IMDb linked in the description. So if anybody wants to check out your movies or your streams, they are free to do so at their leisure. They are
and
a
just
fun time.
Letting people know that you are getting some movies in the future for giveaways. So
yes, I mentioned that while you dipped out for a sec there. And yeah, if anybody if anybody is interested in those, just leave a comment or try to stay in touch with me somehow. I will get those to you.
All right. Again, thanks for having me on. I'm not sure how thankful people are that I have been on, but I hope some people were entertained.
Well, some people definitely were. And I know I certainly was. So again, thank you so much for your time. Like 3 hours is a big ask of anybody.
All right.
All right.
Toodles.
Well, yep. You take care, man.